For real? Oh no. Let's go.
Boston.
State of OH! Today. In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, USA, USA, USA.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this BA day, December 2nd, 2025. This program begins right now.
Football!
He is the greatest, and we're so incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chat about it every single day. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living, and today we have to talk about a big bad wolf being all the way back. And we have to talk about a dynasty, an empire that was hated by the world, but obviously respected by all in professional sports. This New England Patriots team is such a fascinating story because obviously once they were in the dumps and then they hired a man named Bill Belichick, and then he turned that place into an absolute powerhouse, the greatest dynasty in the history of professional sports over a 20-year span in a league that promotes parity. We're dominating everybody. Obviously, whenever you do that, you're going to have a lot of other fan bases hate you. Those who are at the top of the mountain are obviously going to be judged. And people always throw rocks at things that shine. And boy, a lot of cities that are football cities, that are shit-talking cities, that are passionate cities, that will certainly hate you cities, hated the New England Patriots. So whenever they had their downfall and the ugliness and the breakup and the split between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and then they went down into the dumps of being an ass program, everybody was excited to watch the massholes kind of deal with not being able to be braggadocious about their football team, almost guaranteeing a parade every other year for 20 years. Then they hire a coach, former player. Did not go well at all. We're laughing in their face. Ha ha. You guys had a good time there for a while. Now you guys are ass. And then somehow a guy is on the free agency block as a coach who was able to win and get coach of the year places. And he's just hanging in Cleveland, not getting paid anything in a closet basic office in the back corner. They don't have it figured out there either. He's just hanging. He comes back and he turns the place into an absolute powerhouse. The number one team in the NFL, first team to 11 wins. They're heading into a bye with a young squad and an ass beating against the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. And the New England Patriots are all the way back. So everybody that thought, myself included, that we can maybe dance on them for the foreseeable future when the times are bad over the last couple of years, well, we can't, and they're back on top, and they know it. Their fans know it. Not only is obviously special teams back-to-back weeks for Marcus Jones taking a punt return to the crib. He's unbelievable. He is a stud. Is he a defensive player? On a special teams play, scoring a touchdown, that's certainly up for conversation, I think, in some people's pockets. But on that note, special teams, they're great. Defense, they're incredible. And offensive-wise, they got the guy in Drake May. 6'4", 225 pounds. He can run, he can move. And when he was coming out of college, you know, the people that were around him, Clyde Christensen more specifically, a man who would coach Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. He was back at UNC where he went to school coaching Drake May his final year there. And he said, he's Peyton Manning, he's Andrew Luck, right? This guy's everything. And he can shoot. He's got a jumper. This guy's smart, super smart. He's athletic. He led our team in rushing and in passing, obviously. He's a quarterback. This guy is the guy. If I was to draft somebody, he's what Clyde Christensen told us. And then here we are, fast forwarding just 2 years in. All the concerns about him were his footwork, remember? His technique. He's too athletic, actually. His feet get too far away. His arms doing too much. Now he's like a picture-perfect form quarterback. Everything's on the money, everything's on time, and everything is seemingly coming so damn easy to this guy who's just in his second year, first year in the McDaniels offense. And oh yeah, McDaniels, he's going to be around for the long haul as well. Loves Vrabel, did not love being a head coach back at home up there. So they have Vrabel in the building for the long haul, McDaniels in the building for the long haul. This guy's only in his second year, and I think he's 23 years old. They got him for another 15 years. And New England Patriots fans are saying, ha ha ha, it's our league once again. Let's go to the toxic table at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor. It has to feel good to really feel like that because, you know, a lot of people are saying, who they played? Not your fault. Everybody you guys have played, you've dominated. In every single game, you've gotten clearly better. Monday Night Football is just a showcase of that against the New York Giants, I think. And for the rest of us, we're going to have to deal with you for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, you said 15 years, probably 20, especially because they're going to draft O-line going forward and protect Drake May like their life depends on it. Will Campbell already said, I'm going to fight and die for this guy. And he's going to continue to do that because, keep in mind, he's a 21-year-old franchise left tackle. But, I mean, let's start at the top and go down. Bob Kraft needs to be in the Hall of Fame, one. He to your point, with Gerard Mayo, Mayo. Went through the Belichick era. It ended how it ended. We're kind of seeing what's happening in Pittsburgh right now. That's exactly what the Patriots had to go through a couple years ago. A little different, but still very similar. Then you go to Gerard Mayo, and Bob Kraft makes the very difficult decision to say, you know what, it's not right after 1 year. He could have continued to let Gerard Mayo do what Gerard Mayo was doing, or he could have cut bait after 1 year and hired Mike Vrabel. That's what he did. Bob Kraft, Hall of Famer. Mike Vrabel, changed the entire game. He's the head coach. The entire reason this team is who they are is because of Mike Vrabel. There's a great one clap if you hear me. Yeah! There's a great little speech about them in training camp and OTAs about how Mike Vrabel one time walked into the cafeteria and everybody was kind of quiet, a little nervous, and he immediately said, no. This is not how this works. I don't want you uncomfortable around me. If I'm here, I am just part of this team. Comfortability is a huge thing. You see it kind of transferring to the entire team. And then the other coaches, too. Unfortunately, Terrell Williams, our defensive coordinator coming into the year, has prostate cancer, so he hasn't been able to be with the team. T-Strong, I believe, is the thing that stands for him on their vests and everything like that. So Zach Kerr, linebackers coach, him stepping up. Linebackers also one of our best units on our entire team. Him stepping up, being the DC. Josh McDaniels, you mentioned it. We always talk about Andy Reid and Spags. He is our Spags, but it's on offense, so it's even cooler and better. And then Drake May. There's really not much you can say about him. You mentioned a lot of guys. He's mobile Dan Marino. He's taller Dan Marino. He is the best quarterback in the NFL. He is the MVP. There's no question about it. And we can go to Stafford, and I love Stafford, and I think last week, this exact same time, I was saying Stafford deserves the MVP, but Drake May's doing it with a bunch of guys that, for the most part, were written off. No one was coming into this season saying Stephon Diggs is great. Nope. They were saying this is going to go terribly. He's a diva. Hunter Henry, a lot of people were saying he's injury prone. He is his, I don't want to say blanket, but he's his security. He's the guy on third down he's going to. He knows where he is. And Kyle Williams, we're just getting started with him. He's a rookie. He doesn't get as many snaps just yet because Kayshon Boutte, another guy people thought was a bum, was written off. He's unbelievable. He is typically the deep threat. He's always there. The running backs from Andre Stevenson, Trevion Henderson, he's also just getting going. You mentioned that we have a very young team, second most snaps across the board in the entire NFL behind the Cleveland Browns in front of the New York Football Jets. Something's a little different between those two teams. It's probably the 11 wins for the New England Patriots. It's incredible. It really is. I was basically cackling the whole entire game. It was one of those situations where you really are just giddy, the whole game. And I was doing that because it's amazing. You really didn't expect to be here. It's house money up until last night. It's no longer house money. We are the best team in the NFL. We're the most complete team, and we hit the hardest. So I'm sorry for all the fans out there that were complaining about this. That's an illegal hit. That hurts. Shut up. Jackson Dart, the fart, gets the start. He stinks. He's an idiot. He needs to change how he plays. Boom. Sorry about it. Christian Ellis, fantastic player. And then they can't even get him down on the ground. I forget what his name is, John Michael Schmitz or something. He stinks as well. He plays offensive line for the Giants. Guy can't even tackle a linebacker. Get out of bounds, Dart, you fool. Christian Ellis brings the wood, not to mention Bob Spillane. And that was my favorite play of the entire game. We don't even have to, talk about their offense. Young Oku was staring down Bob Spillane on the other side of the field. And Bob Spillane just
Young
mentally.
Wade is his name.
Well, either way, he's not playing in the NFL anymore. Well, he's Young Wade his way out of the NFL. What a fool. But Bob Spillane staring at him, hey, go ahead, kick it. And, Taku's kind of credit, I'd shit my pants too if I was staring down the barrel of Bob Spillane. And he did. Right when that happened, I damn near started playing video games because it was just too much fun. Didn't really have to watch, but of course I kept watching. It was too great to not look away.
Yeah, I think obviously if you're a Patriots fan, you're having a good time. I didn't even think about Spillane potentially being the reason for this here. Now, as soon as I saw it, had the same thought that I think Young Wei Koo had, which was, so when that ball got placed down, it was a little higher snap, got placed down there, the bottom end slid out a little bit. Okay, so that thing goes from being done and then it slides out from underneath him a little bit, changes where you are kicking the ball at, obviously. So that thing slides out from underneath it. Jamie, the
Scottish Hammer.
There he is, Scottish Hammer there, former rugby player. Absolutely built a hell of an NFL career here.
Yeah.
Incredible NFL career for an international guy. Murders the ball, bombs the ball, has done really good stuff throughout his career. Good hold here. The bottom slipping out is nightmare for holders. quarter, okay, because you feel that obviously. Him being able to catch that, good. But I think in Younghoe Koo's eyes, he was thinking maybe this was potentially going to be a fire. I think he thought maybe the ball wasn't going to be able to be stopped. I think he check swing this thing, and I don't know why his foot didn't stop. Brain needs to tell foot stop a little bit. He just jams his foot right into the ground. That had hurt so bad. I think I saw Schefter say it's a 6 iron. I think more like 4. You know, they 4 iron, whatever. You just jam that thing and you feel it in your wrist. Feels like that's potentially what happened to him right there. He came out and said, saw the ball get double spotted, and then I tried to stop or whatever. I've never seen it before. That had hurt so bad. Ooh. And I'll tell you, not great for kickers and punters, but I think he thought this was going to be a called off kick. I think he thought the ball was potentially going to be sideways down there. And instead, that thing was still up, and he just buries his toe right into earth there. It's a tough night for the Giants. Jackson Dart, to your point, ladies and gentlemen, a man who coached football for 47 years. He's called the quarterback whisperer. We'll certainly get his thoughts on both quarterbacks from last night, but let's kind of chat about the point you made about Jackson Dart there. He gets laid out last night. Guy already has I don't know how many concussions.
4 or 5.
And he comes out after the game and he says, this isn't soccer, you're going to get hit. And I like to let Jackson know, hey, hell yeah, dude. We respect that. We respect that. Hey, we respect that, okay? This is actually football, which is a multi-billion-dollar business. And the entire billion-dollar business is built around the goddamn quarterback, okay? So we need you to play football. So I think all anybody is trying to say to you is we respect and appreciate your toughness. This is football. Football is a tough sport. But football also revolves around the quarterback. And if the quarterback's there, team normally in a much better place than if quarterback's not there. It feels like Andrew Luck was like this. I think there's plenty of other quarterbacks. I think Patrick Mahomes is playing like this this year. Joe Burrow plays like this. I think there's obviously been many others in the past, and I apologize for missing anybody that can – Carson Wentz, obviously, where they feel as if they're doing a disservice to football. If they – Puka Nacua was talking about it last week. He's a wide receiver. Obviously, we're talking quarterbacks specifically because it's the most important position. If they're not there, your team's screwed, basically. But they feel like they're disrespecting football if they kind of take the easy way out and don't get hit. And they think their teammates, I think, won't respect them if they don't take hits. Is that something that you've ever had to experience? And with Andrew Luck, what is the conversation you have with that guy? And can you change that from some of these? Because it feels like Jackson Dart, he got laid out right. Yeah. I mean, that is a monster shot. He pops right up. Once again, he's tough. Nobody's saying he's not tough. But sometimes these quarterbacks mentally can't get through the thought of, like, I should stay alive as opposed to maybe prove how tough I am, right?
Well, when they don't get the next contract because they're never available, they'll figure it out.
You think that's what it takes, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you got to step out of bounds. This is national football. Look, this isn't Pee Wee. All right? You had to show you're tough in Pee Wee football. This is the NFL. Quarterbacks are paid zillions of dollars. It's your whole team, your whole city, your whole franchise depends on you to not be a damn idiot. Step out of bounds.
Okay,
right? You're not going to be there.
I appreciate how mad you are about this because I think Connor's feelings about it also echoed your sentiments on it. It's like, we understand you're tough. We appreciate that you are tough. But also, let's go to the defensive side here. Man who played 9 years in the NFL, Darius J. Butler. D-Butch, defenses know that maybe they're going to be able to get a shot on Jackson because he likes to take it? Or how do defenses view quarterbacks that, I don't want to say are reckless, but are kind of reckless with the thoughts of, like, being available for their team?
Yeah, I mean, defense is going into any game. The number one thing for us is stopping the run and then getting hits on the quarterback, whether that's in the pocket, after the throw, as he's throwing the ball. Obviously, the rules are so different now, so much more catered to protecting the quarterbacks because we mentioned how valuable they are, not only to these individual franchises, but to the NFL as a whole. We remember a couple years ago, we had all these backup quarterbacks playing. It's like, damn, all these primetime slate games suck. All these things suck. Yeah. And the whole team, when you run out of that tunnel, man, like, you really have a feeling most Sundays that you can win the game, and that's based on, number one, who's taking the ball from that center. So, yeah, defenses, whenever we have that opportunity to hit a quarterback, we're going to take full advantage of it. I think Ellis spoke after the game saying, oh, yeah, the refs have kind of sent a memo to teams saying and warning quarterbacks of kind of tiptoeing against the sideline. We've seen Mahomes do it. We've seen other quarterbacks do it all these years. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect the team. The extra yard doesn't matter. If that's fourth quarter, maybe overtime, and you're fighting for a yard to get in the field goal range to win a game, maybe to score a touchdown, something like that. But first quarter of the game, you're just coming back from, three weeks off of concussion. That's all we've been hearing is, hey, Jackson Dart got to protect himself. Brian Daboll's fired now. Was it his fault? You got to protect yourself, and he's the only one that can do it. I love how tough he is. I don't care how tough he is. I don't care about that. All that matters is how he plays. We expect all football players to be tough. You're a grown-ass man. You're playing this game. I love Ellis just knocking the absolute shit out of him. And that is something that I think Jackson Dart now that may learn him. That'll learn him right there. we talk about welcome to the NFL moments. That is definitely a welcome to the NFL moment. This is all he's going to be hearing about. It's a primetime game. I love that he popped up and he's healthy as well. But, yeah, that's how you're supposed to play the game. You can't tiptoe. They're already protected. We can't protect him any more than we're doing it now.
Here's Ellis actually after the game talking about that play.
During the play, I saw the scramble, started chasing him down. He started tiptoeing on the sideline, and I thought he was just going to go out of bounds, but then I saw him tiptoeing. So I was like, stay in bounds. What am I supposed to do? And we play hard on defense. We try to bring life to this team. So that's all I was trying to do, is just do my job and hit anything in the whites.
Hell yeah.
And he did. And Scott loves the NFLPA, man. Scott loves it. Got the hat on right there. Hey, good luck out there, Ellis. We're pulling for you. And now let's go to the other side. What we're saying, Jackson, is respect, man. We love it. Jacket's sick. Your swag and moxie's outrageous. You are very electrifying. We are very appreciative that you're in the league. We would like you to continue to be in the league. We all think you're tough. I think he's trying to prove himself to Giants fans, too. I think he's trying to prove himself to the locker room. I think he's trying to prove himself to everybody, like who he is as a person, who he is as a football player. Him afterwards saying this is football, not soccer, I think it's even more like, hey, I want to let you know what type of guy you got here. And all we want you to say is, all right, hey, check. We got it. We got it. We understand who you are now. Now you just go ahead and now you just survive this thing, and let's continue to thrive maybe a little bit.
Drake May had to learn too, because early on we talked about his athleticism and him being able to extend plays, and he's one of my favorite, or was one of my favorite prop bets to get over that rush. And now you can see he's protecting himself a lot more because he's taking some vicious shots in his first 2 years, and immediately, okay, if I'm putting my team at a much greater risk of losing ball games if I'm not out there taking the snap. So yeah, you got to learn this, and I think hopefully this is a learning lesson for Jax, or it's going to be a very short career.
Yeah, UXFL maybe, if you just want to get your ass beat up in the NFL for a long time. Or you're going to have to put on a lot.
Yep.
Like Andrew Luck was like an avatar, actually.
That don't matter.
No, but he still got hurt. Yeah, what I'm saying, though, is unless you want to just become like some – I don't know how you're going to handle these hits from these guys. Ellis is doing that 100 times a game. That is what he is trying to do.
Connor Olszewski.
Later on. Knocked the end off his helmet.
Yeah.
So, let's just not do it. Every team's got 4 of those dudes, Jackson, and they can get you at any time. And guess what? One of them might be a safety. You don't even think a little bit of undersize. Well, look at that. I'm bigger than that guy. Yeah, nope. That dude's been knocking people out bigger than you a lot longer. This is the NFL. We understand that you understand that, but we would like you to survive. Now let's go to Drake May. You talk about him learning. How about his footwork being questioned, kind of coming out? He's going to be a little bit sloppy, not going to be accurate. It's going to take him a long time to develop. Remember, that was a conversation. Out of all these quarterbacks, the ceiling might be the highest for Drake because of how athletic he is, but he has the longest runway to get there. It's going to take a long time. Well, feels like one off season, he's figured it all out. What has Drake May done last year versus this year, or this year versus last year? And what have you seen out of this guy who's an MVP favorite in his first year in an offensive system, in his second year in the NFL?
Yeah, he was my number one guy coming out that year because he had all the measurables. He could do it all, and obviously Clyde and I have been together a long, long time. But he's in a different system. He's got Josh McDaniels, not belittling the other guys that coached him the year before, but none of them are quarterback people. And he's got a great system now. He's got players around him, and Vrabes is the guy that's going to get in his ear and say, hey, we need you for the long haul. We know you're tough. Stop it. And Vrabes is the kind of guy to get that done.
I think Vrabes and him are like a perfect match. Legit.
Really?
It feels like Vrabes and him are a perfect match. And you talk about Vrabes walking into the cafeteria and be like, nah, this ain't going to be uptight. I'm part of the team. It does feel like Vrabes' leadership style is I'm in the locker room, but I have 10 votes. If we're voting on things, I have 10 votes, but I am certainly in here with you. I appreciated the fact that he grew the mustache out for Movember, and then he said, definitely go and get on Monday Night Football. I mean, I didn't do all this for naught. So he'll have a clean shave through December, I guess, as they head into the playoff time. We all assume Vrabes can coach a Super Bowl winning team.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we saw him overachieve in Tennessee, what we saw down there for sure. But yeah,
as soon as he got hired, that, right?
That pairing has been perfect, and something that they said on the broadcast last night was obviously there's similarities between him and Bill, but much different as far as how personable he is. And one of the things that he kind of wanted to drive home is like, hey, don't take yourself too serious. And when you're a professional, you can come in there and you can just kind of play. You know your coach had your back. You could tell this is a close team. You could tell by how they play football. You can tell by how listening to them talk about each other. And then I felt like Drake May was kind of a perfect quarterback to go into this team and go into this locker room and kind of help galvanize the guys. Now, the Josh McDaniels thing, because when you get in there, we saw last year, we saw he had the skill set. We saw he was competitive. We saw he had confidence. That's what you want to see as a rookie. Then you just got to learn how to play the game. And when you get a coach like Josh McDaniels, like, this guy is obviously brilliant when it comes to calling offenses, and you can just watch Drake May. Like, a lot of times when I watch, especially on the TV copy, when I watch quarterbacks, and I said this about Carson Wentz a couple of years ago when he was our quarterback here, like, if I just pause it on like an ISO cam on the quarterback, a lot of times I can tell if it's a good throw, if they were confident in the coverage, if they were confident in the read, what's going to be on the other side of that. When you panned Carson Wentz a couple of years ago, terrified, I didn't have a clue. With this guy, it looked like I couldn't tell if he was in an individual drill or if it's a fourth quarter 2-minute drive. It's just how calm and composed he is with every throw, the reads, pockets, even when they're breaking down, how he climbs the pocket and keeps his eyes downfield. Like, he's doing shit that 10-year veterans are doing. You only do that. You only make that type of jump if you're getting coached great. Obviously, it's good players around him, but the job that Mike has done, Josh has done, Drake, and then the personnel department, like all of these guys, like all the money they spent, well spent. They invested in the trenches. They got young guys that they shifted and got playing. Like, it's just they're doing everything right, just kind of like Chicago on the other side.
You talk about spending the right money. They also have the most coming up.
Yeah.
They have the most money.
Top by a lot.
They're going into a bye week right now.
Yep.
Okay, so whenever they come out, it's going to be week 15. So it's like, hey, actual final stretch, everybody locked in, hopefully a little bit healthier. What a perfect timing for a young team's bye week, okay, at this late of the game and being where they're at. And then also, after whatever this season is, let's say they don't win the Super Bowl this year, okay? Looks like they might.
But very well in the race,
Looks like they might win the Super Bowl. Let's say they don't win the Super Bowl. Okay, Coach Rabes, how would you judge your first year? Yeah, we got a lot to work on. We're going to figure that out. And, we got the biggest bank in the entire NFL. It's like, what a position for the Patriots to be in going forward. Joining us now is a man who was boots on the ground in Foxborough yesterday, and a guy who knows everything about everything. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, the most interesting man, talker about her, and also the host of the Schrager Hour, Peter Schrager.
Yay!
How you doing, Schrags? What up, dude?
I'm doing amazing. I'm listening to you guys. I would just add, and D-Butt knows, I have been to so many of those games up in Foxborough. I've sat at Ed Reed's locker as he was smoking a cigar, singing 2 Tickets to Paradise because they finally beat the Patriots and he was going to his first Super Bowl in that building. I've been to countless Sunday night games in that building. I'm telling you, it was like going this crazy, like, this is your life moment, walking back into that building, and suddenly they're the number 1 seed again. Yeah. And it's just like 6 years ago, it was supposed to be done, and we're supposed to wait 15, 20 years, but walking around Patriots Place, walking into that building, and yet there is a difference. And this is what you guys are saying here. I used to walk around that building like with eggshells and like, I don't want to ask the wrong question, don't want to be in the wrong place, there was a levity to it. There was a joy to it. It was like, imagine the Patriots regime with a smile. That's what this was yesterday. They were actually happy and pleasant and, hey, Shregs, great to see you, and not, why are you standing there? Like, it's a whole different vibe from the Belichick era, and yet the same results so far, and it's early, but I was blown away by this team, and it's amazing to me that with all the downtrodden franchises, whether it be the Raiders fans, the Browns fans, the Jets fans, that somehow, some way, it took 6 years since Brady's last game in New England, and they're already the number 1 seed again and sitting at the top of the perch in the NFL. It's wild.
Yeah, and let's not even get into all the other sports up there, too, just having success all the time. I don't know what it is, but it feels like they do make teams a little different up there in the New England era, especially with this Patriots football team. The Kraft family deserves a lot of respect. Okay, they deserve a lot of respect for the decision that they made as quickly as they did to get Vrabel in there. And Drake May has just become special, and the defense is unbelievable. Okay, let's pivot away from the Patriots and yesterday. Let's move to some other NFL stories. As Darius Butler alluded to there, you talk about the NFC's kind of Patriots. That would be the Chicago Bears. And I know you're about to chit-chat with Ben Johnson for the next Schrager Hour. This Chicago Bears story is special. And Ben Johnson, jacked, but not just jacked physically. Feels like he should be emotionally because his culture has settled in so quickly. Is that kind of your vibes that you're getting out of Chicago? And were you a believer in it the entire time? Because I thought there was no chance Caleb and Ben were going to get along. And then here we are, and it's like, oh, they're perfect for each other, just like Vrabel and Drake. We are the dumbest people of all time. That's where I'm sitting at now.
I didn't have them playoff team, I'll be honest. I didn't think that would happen in year one, but I thought it was a great hire. And I thought he was the most misunderstood person in the NFL going into this season. People thought Ben Johnson was some bookish nerd who would sit in a laboratory and just draw up plays. They don't realize he's got a ton of juice to him. He's a dog himself.
Jack.
This is a guy who, was a culture setter, not only, in Detroit with that offensive group, but then the second he got to Chicago was like, here's what we're going to be. And you think they're going to do all this air raid stuff. No, look what they did. They had, between those two running backs, they ran for more than 230 yards on what's considered one of the best run defenses in the league. At 281 yards, most ever versus Nick Sirianni. And that's a statement. And remember, Sonic and Knuckles in Detroit last year, they did the same thing there. So this isn't just one of these through the air, all that types of guys. He's also got a bit of an edge to him. And when he's ripping off his shirt and he's, subtly jacked and you're like, wait, I didn't expect that. And he's doing this whole thing. What I'm looking at is the teammates and the players and everyone in that room rallying around it and loving this guy. I'm excited for the Bears fans. I'm excited for the Patriots fans. I had a source text me and said, if they were both to be the 1 seeds, it would be the first time in NFL history ever, going back 110 years, first time ever that the 2 number 1 seeds in the playoffs would have quarterbacks who are 25 years old or younger. And that's a testament to those quarterbacks. It's also a testament to those coaches. You're talking about Vrabel and you're talking about Ben Johnson, first-year coaches who took second-year quarterbacks who had rough rookie years and said, let's wash that away. Let's build this from scratch. Let's do it the right way.
Yeah, Caleb seems to be everything we thought Caleb was going to be. And Ben Johnson's only going to get smarter on the offensive side, and they're going to be able to be paired forever. And Drake May is going to be with Josh McDaniels for seemingly ever as well. That means the future is very bright in 2 cities. How's everybody else doing? Well, Shregs, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, this is going to be my last question before the boys will have their questions.
Right.
They were on the graphic last night competing for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I heard, did I hear him say lurking too? I think I heard somebody say lurking.
No, they were in that big graphic. They were in the 3-team graphic.
No, okay, yes, you got us in there, yeah. But then, did I see the word lurking? I think I saw lurking up there in the
hovering.
Okay, I think SVP said lurking as well. I was like, yes, we need to keep lurking because that's what these teams are lurking around. But the Colts, I'm very worried about us, Striggs. I am very, very worried about us. We had C.J. Stroud on yesterday. The Houston Texans, we think, are going to continue to be great because they get the number 1 defense in the league. And offensively, if C.J. Stroud can get back to form, which he looked like it against Indianapolis Colts, they're going to be good against anybody. Collins is seemingly unguardable, and he's fast as shit, and then they got guys all over the place. So they're good. Jacksonville Jaguars, Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence. It's like we got to play them twice, including this week, Dahn and Duval. The Colts are favored by 1.5 at this moment on DraftKings. I have no idea how that happened because we always struggle down there. But if you look at the Colts road down here, we got the Jags, Seahawks. Are they good? I don't remember.
Decent.
The Niners, are they
good.
Okay? I don't remember.
All right.
Jags again, okay. And then the Houston Texans, who just beat us, but we'll be down there making it the Houston Loud House. And whenever you think about the Colts, we were number 1. We were number 1. And then now this injury to Daniel Jones, did we all know about this thing? When did this all come about? And what are your kind of thoughts on where the Colts sit right now? Because I am a bit worried. I'm going to be honest. I am a bit worried about where we're at.
It's a brutal stretch, but how else would you want it than, hey, let's go win our way into this
easier
thing.
with a healthy Danny Dimes. That's how I would want it. I would want maybe the Jags, maybe
The Titans and the Raiders 5 times.
Yeah, that's what I would
That'll
like.
play.
That would be great if I could somehow.
You already got the Titans twice.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not good. But you're saying hard road here. This is what you should want because if you're going to win it all, you're going to have to beat everybody anyways.
Hardest road that remains, I think, is right here. And I look at those two Jaguars logos, and you hit it. For whatever reason, when the Jaguars were 1-15, they would beat the Colts. When the Colts had to win it in with Wentz on that Week 18 game, and the Jaguars had nothing to play for, Jaguars beat the Colts. Like, it's enough already. The Colts have the chance to go in there and not only slay demons for this franchise, but to also shut up a lot of people who have been critical of this team in the last few weeks. I think we all were doing a bit of a celebration a little too soon. And then at the trade deadline, when Ballard goes all in and gets sauce, it's like, all right, we're going to commend that because we're going to go win a Super Bowl. And you give up future first-round picks because that's what the goal is. It wasn't to, hey, let's fight for a wild card spot or barely make the playoffs or, God forbid, miss the playoffs. The season's not done. They still have this road, and they still have Jonathan Taylor in that backfield that they can rely on, even if Daniel Jones isn't 100%. So no sauce for probably a couple weeks. It wasn't an Achilles, which was what the fear was when it first went down. You're happy about that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I thought Alec Pierce played excellent, and I thought there were a lot of different things to like about that game that you were at on Sunday. So I'm not giving up on the Colts yet. I don't look at the Jaguars as world beaters here. Go into Jacksonville, take care of business, and go tear that narrative away from everybody else and win.
Yeah, that's right. In fibula, you need the heel. You know, I didn't even know what that was. I knew it was in the leg somewhere, like the fibula.
Not that important.
It's the other one on your shin, I guess.
Yeah, it's not like tibia or anything.
Yeah.
Or the femur. That's a bone.
That's a big, the patella, very important in the entirety of the leg, if you really dive into it.
Would hate to lose a patella.
Yeah. I dislocated patella my last year in the NFL. It was disgusting. It hurt like hell. Yeah, it wasn't fun. You know, the tibia and the fibula, also a little tag team down there in the shin, as you know. They were talking about
that. Oh, I like this graphic.
Yeah, the fibula is connected to the other bone, you know, and then it's on the other side. There's a hairline in there. And then whenever you start talking about the condyles, you know, you start to worry about them kind of trickulating down there into the stibula, you know, and then you got it all figured out. Nonetheless, Danny Jones got a hairline fracture in his, and he certainly looks different.
Will you guys be in attendance for that Monday night Colts 49ers game?
Yeah. It's the only primetime game we got all year, bub. Yeah, we certainly.
Can we hang?
No.
If you tell Ben Johnson to come on the show, maybe.
Yeah, we need you to put in a good word for Ben Johnson. We pissed off Kevin Warren whenever we were kind of talking about all the dumb things he did as the Big Ten president or whatever. And there was a lot of them. And that's on us for doing it. So I think he kind of holds a little bit against.
You were being honest. You were being critical. You're a journalist, Pat. You say what you got to say.
You said it.
Hello.
You said it, not me. You know, hashtag journalism. I don't know who's doing it out there these days. Well, there was a guy.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, man. I don't know. Have we heard from him? We've not heard from him.
This one's way over my head right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. He was stirring the pot. Investigative sports journalism.
Oh, yeah.
He decided to shake a tree that I don't think was the right move. I don't know. He was in there. But we like to consider ourselves journalists. I think we try to get to the bottom of things. But on that note, you're the person with actual information. There's some real troubles maybe in the city of brotherly love. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shrakes, how concerned are you with the Eagles? It feels like things have finally reached a tipping point. People are egging Kevin Patullo's house. They're not going to make any changes, Sirianni said. They got their absolute asses beat by the Bears. At this point, what is the level of concern? And, you know, with the Cowboys being one of the hotter teams in the NFL right now, like how likely is it, do you think, that the Cowboys potentially win the NFC East?
It's definitely possible, and it's becoming more and more likely. Cowboys look like they're as good as any team in the NFL the last 3 weeks, and the Cowboys go into Detroit in what might be season-defining game for both teams on Thursday night. The Cowboys are what I'd be scared of if I were the Eagles. Of course, all it takes is Philly to win a couple games, and this is all an afterthought, and we're back, and they're all of a sudden 10-4 in the whole thing. But that's where I'm at. It's aesthetically really different than what it looked like at the beginning of the season. And talking to people who do the all 22 and all that stuff, there's very, very little that you can hang your hat on and say, well, at least they're doing this right, or at least they're trying this. And it also is, I guess, I would almost say it's magnified so much more in that market. And it's because of the expectations. And that's all the sports teams in Philly. Like, the expectations are so high. And then the media, there are so many members of the media, and they are so on it. And whether you think they're overly critical or whether you think they're on it to a degree that it's good for the viewers and good for the readers and good for the fans. It is wall to wall as if it's, the White House they're covering. It's that well covered. And then the fans have such expectations that when things start to crack, when things start to fracture, it could really be a landslide and it can snowball in a way that doesn't happen in other media markets.
Yeah,
It's a combination of all these factors. It's so difficult to win there, which is why it kills me that when they did win there last year, I don't know if Jalen and Nick and those guys savored it or enjoyed it or like reveled in it, maybe the way that Jason Kelsey did when he's wearing the Mummers outfit and that team did so many years earlier.
Yeah, Philadelphia is a fan base that wants to win right now, and if you're not doing what they think you should be doing to win, they're going to tell you right now as well, forever. Even when you're winning, if you're not doing it in the right way, they're going to tell you about it. And that's for all sports, like you said, except for hockey. You guys suck at hockey. Sidney Crosby just continuing to dominate the Philadelphia Flyers last night. There's a lot of stats coming out about Sid the Kid being the king of Philadelphia. Listen, it's been a long time since the Flyers fans have had a chance to really celebrate them having success. Most goals versus Flyers all time. Sidney Crosby, 59 of them. That's just against one. That's the most any player has against an opponent in the history of hockey, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, so Sid dominates Flyers yet again, scores more against them, and the Flyers continue to stink. So that's why the Eagles get so much heat, though, because there is another team in Philadelphia, but nobody cares about.
No.
So it's basically the Phillies and it's the Eagles, because the Flyers haven't held up their end of the bargain forever.
And they kill the Sixers every year no matter what, because they just can't put it together.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Yep, trust the process indeed.
So basically, it's just Phillies and Eagles are getting the entire city because the other two they've almost given up on.
Yeah.
And what the Eagles fans are telling Sirianni is, you don't want us to treat you like you're the Flyers. Okay? You need to figure this out. And they think it's a sign of love. And if you're Sirianni and the boys, it could probably sound a lot like hate. But I will say with the Eagles fans and the Johns over there, I don't like the way that team looks either. I don't like all the drama. I don't like all the shit. I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it. And I'm a big-time fan of the way the Eagles play. I like the way Sirianni talks. I like the way they operate. I like everything about the Eagles last year. And then this year with all the drama and shit, I'm like, man, I'm kind of sick of hearing about you guys. I don't think this is good. And I don't know how they figure it out. Big Dom's just going to have to, I guess, get to the bottom of it. Grazie, prego.
Casino night, maybe, since it's all right there next to the stadium.
Yeah, maybe they stop by.
Yeah.
Maybe that is something they need. Yeah, good call. Have Big Dom out there, maybe doing
high-value tables together.
Maybe they just need to hang out.
That's all.
So you guys are all out on the Eagles.
Sounds like they're not interested.
Everybody's out on the Eagles.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't think anyone's all out on the Eagles.
To make a run.
It's kind of like
back to back.
Like
not a chance.
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Not a chance.
The Philadelphia Eagles this year?
The same team has been in there twice in the last 4 years. That team.
Same team that missed the playoffs, lost in the first round of the playoffs after they went to the Super Bowl.
I don't know about that team.
You think Philadelphia Eagles can win the Super Bowl?
Yes. Too many good players, too many good coaches.
Paolo being the offense.
He wouldn't be on my list.
Okay, so Sirianni would have to fire Paolo, and then somebody else is the offense coordinator. How's this work? Let's just get all the guidelines for whether or not it goes on a run.
Yeah, what's it gonna take?
I'm not going to be a guy on the microphone telling people what to do in their building. I trust Howie and Nick to figure it out. There's too much talent on that team to sit here December 2nd and say, oh, they're out of it. They can't figure it out. Now, from the outside looking in, they don't look like they like each other as much.
Which is a problem.
Which is a problem. But once again, talent-wise, Vic Fangio, I saw that defense turn into the best defense in the world last season. I know A.J. Brown's still there, Devontae's still there, Saquon's still there, Jalen Hurts is still – like, these ain't a bunch of bums talking about, hey, let's try to figure it out. I think this team can still make a run, for sure.
So you're saying, yes, they win the Super Bowl.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying they can make a run.
All right. I'm happy I don't have to make a decision on that. All right, let's talk about some other teams in the NFC that could go on a run. Go ahead, Conban.
Yeah, Straights, a photo of the NFC picture kind of got released yesterday, and it was the first time I noticed it. The first-place team has 9 wins, and the seventh-place team has 9 wins. That NFC West, are they going to cannibalize each other? I mean, Seattle, the Rams, and the 49ers, it feels as though it's kind of inevitable that those teams are going to absolutely slaughter each other to the point where once they get into the playoffs, it's going to be a very tough road. What do you expect out of that division? And just to D-But's point, there's no chance I'm taking the Eagles over the Packers, Bears, or Rams right now.
Really?
Well, it was such a like a statement on the 2025 season because we do this now. We crown a team week to week, and I think there's no dumber thing than everyone going nuts about power rankings. But the Rams were the team last week. The Rams were the team. Stafford's the MVP. The whole thing. The 25 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and then they're humbled. And it's like, all right, well, then I got to readjust my bearings now. Are the Seahawks actually better? Well, the Rams beat the Seahawks, but they beat them. Very close game in LA. They play again in Seattle. Like, it is wide open. It is a dream season for the NFL because you could take any of these teams on this graphic. And I wouldn't even say with the exception of Carolina. I would say any of these teams on this graphic. And if you told me they're going to be playing in San Francisco in February, I'd be like, all right, they got hot at the right time. They found a way and they figured it out. The Rams, the Niners, the Seahawks, those are 3 very good teams. I don't know if all 3 of those teams are going to make the playoffs because I feel like the Lions and the Cowboys, one of those squads are going to sneak in as a wild card just based on the numbers and the odds of how those teams play against each other.
It would be insane if the Cowboys were able to catch up and get in with how they started this entire year. It seemed like it was not possible. Then you start watching the chaos kind of happen above them. And it's like, wait a minute, are the Cowboys the best team in football right now? And if they're able to sneak in, are they going to be able to go on a run? I think we all think yes at this moment, right?
Yep.
But once again, to Schrager's point, daily sports talk, we will change that opinion next week if we need to.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we certainly will.
Thursday night against the Lions.
Yes, Friday, we might be coming in here saying, just like we thought, the Cowboys are frauds, just like we said. Or on the flip side, wow, this Cowboys team is the best team in ball.
Just like we said to Shrek.
Dude, we've been talking like this the whole time. We've been saying this is a possibility.
I came on with you guys in August, and I was like, or September, right before that prediction special, and I was like, I don't think the Lions are going to make the playoffs. And I've heard it from Lions fans all season long. I'm not doing a victory parade at all because I do believe the Lions could still make the playoffs. But there's weird things that happen season to season. And like the same guy who said the Lions weren't going to make the playoffs, I came out here and I was like, I think the Dolphins are going to be the team that everyone's talking about. Now, granted, they've won a few games, and we're happy for them. But, like, Dolphins probably aren't going to make the playoffs. The NFL is the complete crapshoot sometimes. And in this case, Detroit hosting the Cowboys at home, short week after having the whole Thanksgiving weekend, at home also. I would think that they have to find a way to win this game. And if they don't, then their playoff hopes are really in doubt.
And can we get Jack White and Eminem again?
Dude, how good was that? Can we talk about it?
So good. Shrakes. I think, I am a Jack White fan. Obviously, White Stripes, I was like, hey, what song would you like to walk out to the ring to WrestleMania or whatever? It's like, well.
What'd you pick?
I mean, if you can get.
Seven Nation Army?
That's like the greatest entrance song of all time. I would take that. They go, boom. Jack Let It Happen or whatever. I'm like, holy shit. Then I walk out there and the whole thing happens. I'm like, this is the coolest moment of all time. So I'm a massive fan of Jack White, the White Stripes, everything he does, okay? But I didn't think enough people would know enough of his songs for it to be good. And then you immediately forget the guy's a rock star. You put a rock star on a stage with a guitar and a microphone, he's going to put on a show no matter what he's saying.
That first song.
Wow. I mean, you don't even know what the hell he's saying. It doesn't matter.
The first song is from a new album. That's how I'm feeling. It's from a new album. No one had heard it. Comes out, plays that. It's unbelievable. Everyone's just like, wow, rock music at an NFL venue. That's new. It was awesome. And then he comes out and plays Hello Operator, which is a song from an album from 2000. And then out of nowhere, Eminem comes out with Till I Collapse, and they're doing it together. I'm like, this is mind-blowing.
It's a good show.
7 minutes and 30 seconds, and I felt like I was at a festival. It was unbelievable, and shout out to Eminem and his manager, Paul Rosenberg, for putting that thing together because they came to the Lions and said, can we orchestrate the halftime show? The Lions, their president, Rod Wood, was like, absolutely. They signed a 3-year deal, so not only this Thanksgiving, but the next 2 Thanksgivings, Eminem is basically in charge of who does the halftime show. And how cool was that? It was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. They put everybody else to bed. Like Post Malone, yeah, right. You got no chance. Unless you bring out Big X the Plug and Taylor Swift because he's playing who I don't know how, and Jelly Roll probably, with his fresh face. I don't know how Post Malone was supposed to top that. But Eminem, and I mean this as a compliment, whenever Eminem takes over the show, I get worried that Eminem won't put himself in the show. because he's like, I
doubt.
don't want people to think they're Eminem. You definitely made the right decision being in. And by the way, next year we'd all like see another Eminem appearance in whoever you beat.
Run that back.
Yeah, do the same exact thing, whatever you want to do.
Exact same set.
So shout out to creators and talents being put in positions to do things and then executing at a very high level, as opposed to some suit that was normally probably in theory putting things together. Eminem basically saying Detroit can kill this, and they absolutely do. Congratulations.
Let's go.
Thank you for doing that. It was a great Thanksgiving. And to your point,
awesome.
New song, I had no idea. I just knew that I saw a talent. That's a talent right there. That is what we're watching here is a gift. And it was a great Thanksgiving. Every time we get a chance to chat with you, we're very grateful. We appreciate you, Shregs.
I'm so grateful for you. Amazing job this weekend again at game day, and happy holidays and congrats on all the great news. You're the man.
Yeah, you're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Schrager. Okay, from Peter Schrager, ladies and gentlemen, to a man whose team might be ranked in the top 4 in the country today. He's former high school football coach.
That's right.
In the great state of Texas. The leader of the Texas Tech Red Raider football team. Fresh out of a tough game against the Mountaineers in Morgantown. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey McGuire.
Yeah, Coach.
What's up, Coach?
Coach, how you doing? Oh, you're muted. I don't know if it's our end or your end. Is it us or him? Nah, you're muted. We got to get you unmuted. It's on. I think it's on your side.
Yeah,
Now you're muted. Yeah. There you are, Coach.
I apologize.
Hey,
Hey, first of all, I just want to tell you, we're not leaving the Big 12, bro.
Who told you? Who told you?
Not leaving the Big 12. I don't know who, that rumor yesterday, we're all in.
Okay, yeah, but the rumor was kind of started by me yesterday. Is what I was trying to. I
tell you guys.
Yeah, I called Cody Campbell. I said, hey, listen, I think you guys need to get out of the Big 12. I think it's only right. I think you guys need to go ahead and head over to the SEC. I was looking at a map. I was zoomed out. I kind of panned over west. You could see how you guys, West Texas, kind of in the Southeastern Conference. We need you out of there. But on that note, the reason why I'm saying that is because I think I now have had a chance to really see what you're building down there and how special it is. Obviously, you get a massive win over West Virginia here to wrap up the season. You got the Big 12 championship game coming up here in a few days. How do you feel about where your team is and the vision of what the future can be down there? It feels like a very special time and about to be special times down there in Lubbock for you guys.
Yeah, it's incredible. This is where we thought we would be. Honestly, you could tell in spring football how mature this group was. And it's all about staying healthy and having good things happen. And we're getting healthier and healthier. This is probably as healthy as we've been all year long going into the Big 12 championship, which is great news for us. But, man, this administration, Cody Campbell, Dusty Womble, these guys, man, they went all in. And so every day I come to work, man, I'm lucky. I work with the best AD in the country, the best president in the country. And they put everything behind this that we can win at a high level. And so I think important, and I try to make sure that they understand how much we appreciate it, and then what we put on the field is something special.
You talk about everybody being in alignment. At a lot of schools, the money people aren't necessarily football people, but the football teams need the money people. So then the money people start having obviously some say because they actually do have some power because they are the supply of the roster. You guys having football people as your money people is a weapon. It is outrageous, and then you add in Patrick Mahomes as well, who brings in an incredible Adidas deal and also any quarterback you want, any weapon. It's like you guys really seemingly are the perfect setup for this transfer portal NIL era, but you're doing it in the right way, investing in the trenches. Can you tell me about that a little bit? Is that because you think you got football people that are money people saying, hey, this is where we want to be, great at? Or why do you think you guys do invest where you invest with your team?
Well, it helps that you've got a former, NFL O-lineman that's the biggest, backer that we have and is really, the brains behind all of this as far as starting the Matador Club and, how we were going to do NIL and how we were going to do rev share. But whenever you look at the, Ohio State last year, Notre Dame, when you look at the teams, Georgia, Alabama, they're just so dominant up front. And so that was one thing that we talked about, is, how good can we be in the offensive, defensive line funny story. We're in the middle of spring football, and Stanford makes a coach's change. So now all of a sudden, you've got a guy out there, David Bailey, who is going to be able to get in the portal because of the coach change. And my GM, James Blanchard, comes to me and he goes, "Hey, there's a chance we can get somebody that's just as good as Romello Height." Now, I've been watching Romello Height for a few months now, and I'm like, hold on, man. Like, this dude's different. Like, you're telling me that there's a guy like this? And he goes, yeah. And I said, do we have room? And he goes, we can make room, this and this. And the last thing that got me, he goes, what would the Eagles do? What would Philadelphia Eagles do? Just go to get another defensive lineman. And I went, all right, let's go get him.
Yes.
And we're able to add a guy that's been leading the country in sacks.
Yeah, so the ability to not only go make that play is obviously because of the backing, but the football decision in saying, hey, we need to win in the trenches is what really separates, I think, the good money from just having money. And I think that is why we need you guys to be going to the SEC. Okay, need you to get the hell out of the Big 12. And, I know going into Morgantown, you were telling the boys, hey, we're okay.
Look out.
Be wary.
Bring your own juice.
And then you got not bring your own juice. You disrespectful! Don't you say that? Don't you? And I want to let you know, Coach. Go ahead.
That's the first time I've been in Morgantown 3 times. At Baylor and at Texas Tech, met 4 times, and that's the first time that we've won in Morgantown. I've taken my 2018. We got beat so bad. I mean, they beat the brakes off of us and made us like them. And so it's such a tough place to play. We really did. Like we went in there with our piss was hot now.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, we watched it. Okay, we saw your piss was hot, and we saw your entire team on display. Just know that the hard edge is coming back. But on that note, hard edge, I like how tough your team is. I love the kind of the moxie of your squad. Obviously you high school football coach, and I think at AT&T Stadium you've won 2 out of your 3 high school state championships as well. So it obviously has a lot of meaning for you guys and for your team, obviously in Texas. But quarterback, dad, high school football. It's like everything about you guys is ball. And then your linebacker, who might win the whole damn thing with the best stash in all of ball, Rodriguez, you got him playing quarterback as well. It's like you're doing everything right down there. And it feels like you go out of your way to do that. Does it feel like that? And does it feel like you get all the people that fit your culture immediately because you kind of you display who you are every single day, if that makes sense?
We're very intentional for sure what we do. Every Friday night we have game day captains, and I meet with the O-line and D-line together, and then the game day captains, we're all in it together. And I tell them, man, you've earned this. I am very intentional of who's going to be a game day captain and why they're a game day captain. We made sure this year that every single walk-on that has been with us for 4 years was a game day captain. We call our walk-ons the Dead Rabbits off of the gangs in New York. And, that was a tough game. And that's kind of like what we try to get those guys to be. That comes from our special teams coordinator, Kenny Perry. But we're very intentional. And then the other thing, man, we care deeply about our players in every aspect of their life. We got 6 guys that are married. All 6 of the wives were at our Thanksgiving dinner as a team. Everything we do, we try to do it very intentionally to get these guys to understand how much we care about them.
Special place. Will you view tonight as any decision for your program? Do you get justification, fulfillment out of any of these rankings or anything like that? Like if tonight it comes out you guys are ranked at 4 or whatever, or maybe even higher, will you feel fulfillment out of that, or how do you kind of handle that with the boys?
We'll practice, and I'll check here in a little bit exactly what time. I watch it, man. I'm a football geek now, man. I mean, right now on my tabs of what's pulled up, I have every bracket pulled up of high school football, of who's playing who this weekend, and then I watch it as a fan. Also, I mean, I'm watching it as where we're at, but I'm also watching it as a fan of who moves up to where. I think we should be in the top 4. And we're playing for that. And we've been talking about that because it's important for us to get a bye, so we're fighting like hell to get in the playoffs and win the Big 12, but we're fighting like hell to be in the top 4 also.
You get a bye, you can obviously get healthy. Or you can get rusty, Coach. Now, you can get rusty. That would be on your ass not preparing the boys. You know, you got a bunch of married guys, these old dudes, you know.
Right.
Get those couple weeks off. We'll see if the old high school ball coach can get the boys ready to go. 49-0 in Morgantown this past weekend. It feels like they're playing their best fucking ball of all season at this point. Coach, you've made some comments, I think everybody kind of has, about the state of college ball. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Coach, in the wake of Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss for LSU and kind of the entire conjecture around that, you got applauded for a lot of your comments about the college football schedule. In your opinion, what changes would you like to see with the schedule? And ultimately, do you think that that's something that will actually happen? Because we had Marty Smith on yesterday, and he said the problem is that the schedule really is only going to affect 10 to 11 schools per year because those are the coaches who are leaving. And I think a lot of people would disagree. But what are the changes that you would like to see made, and do you think that'll ultimately happen here soon?
Yeah, I mean, you got to disagree with that because North Texas and Tulane are in that boat. You're looking at how many guys. I guess James Madison's in that boat too. So it's more than 10 and 11 whenever you've got really good coaches like Eric Morse and guys like that. I think, honestly, y'all can play Mike Leach's explanation on how the playoffs go. I'd go back to that video because it's really simple and it's really hilarious because guess what? It's common sense. It's what high school does, Division III, Division II, FCS, and the NFL. Move us all the way. For this year, what I would have done, put week 1 is August 23rd. The conference championship would have been played on Thanksgiving weekend. 7 days later, I know it's this crazy thing that you actually play playoff games every 7 days, but 7 days later, you play the first round. 7 days later, the quarterfinals. 7 days later is the semifinals. National championship can actually be done before the portal ever opens. It's this like crazy concept that high school football is doing right now in Texas. I was lucky enough to play in 4 of them. The latest I played, we played 16 games in the state of Texas to win it all. And the latest I played was December 23rd. So if you can do it in the high school and you can do it in every other level of college, then you ought to be able to do it this way. And that solves a lot of issues with the portal and coaches league and everything like that.
That's a lot easier than moving the portal to the spring and then trying to move spring ball to the summer, which leads into training camp. It's like, no, let's just knock this thing out, get January 1 maybe as the national championship every single year in this entirety. Is that what you're projecting?
Well, all of that, whenever people are talking about that, we're reacting and not being proactive. We're not fixing the problem. We're reacting to the problem.
That's right.
It's like, here's my biggest deal. Why I think where we're at is we got all of our kids, except for 2. We got all of our kids to where they were with me from January all the way to this point right now. And so we were such a closer team. We knew exactly what we had. We were able to go through spring football. We had everything installed from a brand new offensive coordinator, a brand new defensive coordinator. Now let's react. Here's the thing I don't want. You have a spring portal, and I'm stuck with a kid that doesn't want to be at Texas Tech for all of spring until the portal opens up.
Yeah, right.
I want that. Right. So we're reacting. Fix the problem by changing the calendar and moving everything up.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Hey, you nailed that right on the heart out at ESPN. We're still live on digital, but I want to let you know your timing is impeccable, and so is your brain and your coaching style. We appreciate the hell out of you. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach down here at Texas Tech, Rackham!
That's it, baby.
Coach Jay McGuire, thank you. Buddy. We'll see you on the other side. All the way here in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up routine, gratitude, truly. I'm all the way in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up the routine, gratitude truly. Feel like new school, Dean, life's pretty cool, G, 3 jobs, few beans, tank top, blue jeans. So this is insane, I'm the 5th guy ever to ride this motorcycle. It's a 1996 Fat Boy. They've been doing it since 1999. It's called the Leader of the Quack. You can call me the Leader of the Quack right now. Quack, quack, quack. guy currently, his name is Matt. He's a dog. He's wearing a different jacket today, and he told me to wear the one he's wearing. This is a Grateful Dead one, so I'm gonna wear this one. Leader of the Quack coming in 3, 2, and
Shots, view screens, movie star, 2 scenes, bank account, juicy, cancel, you me, boogeyman, spooky, folks watch, who sees, hating folks, dookie, yeah, you waiting for. Yeah, you waiting for, dookie, yeah, you waiting for, dookie. Yeah, I'm up here in your jeans, smoking on some new green, checking out some new scenes, and you hating folks.
Were you the one that I beat the hell out of tic-tac-toe and Rochambeau?
I just beat him at tic-tac-toe. Hook, line, and sinker. You're the worst tic-tac-toe player of all time.
Yeah, get out. Undefeated. Completely done. You guys came down into the thing. Boom!
Go! Go!
Make me wanna put my hands up and hang my heels up and smoke some tree and give me the Oregon Ducks to get a huge win today.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this BA Day, December 2nd, 2025, hour 2 of the program begins now.
Football!
That's 47-year football coach, BA. We appreciate you for joining us.
Oh,
BA. The Talks Table here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, Connor's living a high life today. His team might just be the best team in all ball.
Yeah, rightfully so. You know, when your team goes out there and just thoroughly beats the piss out of the who they're playing every single week, I mean, that's a good feeling, and that's a feeling he hasn't had in a while. So he should take every gloating measure he wants. He should take this long victory walk and keep marching right into the playoffs.
A primetime win feels good, especially when they're wearing super cool uniforms. Like that splash of red last night was beautiful.
Makes a big difference.
We had Jason Kelsey as a Minuteman last night, obviously doing the shot. You got a chance to experience all the traditions. Who was the keeper of the Paul Revere lamp? 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. We're going to play football field by B.
Yeah, I'm still not sure who the Paul Revere of the week was. Who was it?
Willie McGinnis.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Willie McGinnis was the Paul Revere lamplighter of the week?
Yes, he was.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you what, Willie McGinnis. That's one of the first times in my life. I was already in the NFL, okay? And I've had a couple moments of looking around and seeing humans and just realizing, holy shit, what is that thing? Oh, my God. Could you imagine being like that? I was out at the NFL Network. We were doing NFL AM. And call time was like 2 a.m. or something, 2:30, because obviously they're 3 hours behind, and it was a morning show. So it was 6 to 9 East Coast time, but it was shot in L.A., so that's 3 to 6. Obviously, you start doing the math there. That's an early call time. People are living that life out there full time. Shout out to them. You guys really paved the way for Good Morning Football to do its thing, which is obviously shot in New York as opposed to in L.A. I call time 2 a.m. or something, 1:30 in L.A. Okay, so who knows what I was doing leading up into that. I walk in there. And I'm in a hallway, got my head down, I'm a little bit tired, and I look up, and there's just this species blocking the door, okay? Just walking that way, and the light is coming from the door, so it's literally like a movie, as if this villain character is walking into the light, and I'm just getting like a little bit of light shined over like the right shoulder of this thing, and then obviously cut like there's light coming in through the side here, and then the shoulders are actually just scraping the walls as walking down the hallway. And I actually said, holy fuck. Didn't know who it was. Person turned around. It's Willie McGinnis. I was like, nice to meet you, man. Jeez Louise, it is nice to see you. He's a monster.
Specimen.
Oh my God. I mean, big amongst the big. Willie McGinnis. I mean, absolute gigantic. How many did he win up there?
He won 3.
They talk about him being like the OG of the OGs right up there in New England. I think.
That was a huge part of the entire Brady documentary that really goes into the dynasty, unlike the Apple TV one. But he talks about being the player kind of with Vrabel. He kind of almost showed Vrabel, not the ropes because Vrabel came from Pittsburgh, but kind of part of that culture change, if you will, early on. That's one of the really underrated parts of this whole entire thing with Vrabel is all these old legends from New England are back. Like Randy Moss, I think that was his 4th game that he's been to in Gillette, and Randy made the good decision to claim New England instead of the Minnesota Vikings. So clearly, Randy Moss is a New England Patriot for life, which is incredible. He's always in the suite. Willie McGinnis has been on the sideline with Vrabel, hugs, dapping him up pregame before a lot of their big games. He was there before the Jets primetime game. It really is just up and to the right in New England. I feel bad for every other team.
How about Vrabel just having a vision, I would assume, for if he was to ever run the Patriots or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, he goes up and goes into the New England Patriots Hall of Fame while he's still the head coach of the Tennessee Titans during a bye week. He comes back. The Titans were not happy about that. You said a lot of really nice things about the Patriots while you were speaking about them because I think Vrabes in his Hall of Fame speech goes, I've been to a lot of places. They're terrible. This place is awesome. Never ever forget how awesome this place is. You have no idea how good this place is until maybe you see some other places, okay? So don't ever forget it. This place is the greatest. I've been a lot of places. This is a special place with great leadership, great fans everywhere, and then we move on from the tweet immediately while we're reading it. But he basically said, that was a good play. It was a good play by the back room. I appreciate you guys finding that, first of all. That's a good find there, Bruce. This is a special place with great leadership, great fans, great direction, and great coaching. Enjoy. It's not like this everywhere. So allegedly, he walks back into the Tennessee Titans building after doing that, and ownership and everybody in front office is like, who are you talking about?
What you mean by that?
You talking about here? You talking about us? I'm trying to win a ball game. Is that where? Well, we got to go back to your Hall of Fame speech. It must be nice to go back to your ex-girlfriend, huh? Is that how it is? It's just everything's nicer back there? Is that what you meant by this? And then literally that is what led to them firing him unceremoniously, just moving on from him, and then him not having a job, and then the Tennessee Titans just going down into the pooper, and then him hanging out for a year, and then now leading the number 1 team in the NFL back at home whenever he was calling to play special. I mean, what a perfect outcome for Vrabel and the worst possible outcome for the Tennessee Titans.
It's so perfect for the Patriots, and this is kind of another example of if you're going to be bad, like you want to be really bad, even if it's for a couple years. That's why fans and front offices tank, because now you go and get your quarterback, suck again. You go and get your franchise left tackle maybe. You draft the quarterback. You're not in a situation like the Steelers, where every year you're going to be 9-8, 10-7. You never can get your quarterback. You never can make some real change or turnover. So, the Bears kind of did it when they traded the picks to Carolina and ended up getting Caleb, and then the following year getting their head coach. So, if it can work out, it doesn't always work out that way. Obviously, some teams are just bad forever. But obviously, Kraft and they've been doing the things right from the top down from day one. So it's. I mean, I'm always rooting for the Patriots. That's where I got my start in the league. So it's good to see them trending in the right direction. A lot of people still have some questions about, hey, even after the dominant performance last night, 11-2, 1 pick. Hey, how's it going to look in the playoffs? Do I trust them against this team or this quarterback or this team? And I guess we'll see it. That's why we play the game.
Yeah, you just never know until they actually get to that point. We don't know if Bo Nix can do it. It's like, it's the second year. Can we find, maybe? Can we see? We will find out, right? Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, well, that's 3 months from now. Yep, and we're going to wait. And it's like, well, can we talk about right now? Yeah, I guess we can talk about it right now. It doesn't matter, though.
Don't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's like, it kind of does, though. Doesn't it kind of matter? It's like, nope, doesn't matter. We want to see if they can win in the playoffs, which ultimately is a whole different conversation. Like, is this team ready for the big moment? Is this team going to be able to not get rattled when the world is watching them and they're playing against a top 5 defense every single week and a top 5 offense every single week, which is what playoff football is? With the Patriots, with how young they are, we have no idea.
No clue.
But we'd assume by watching Drake May's mannerisms, I think he's going to be all right. Feels like Drake's going to be okay in a big moment. B.A., what do you look at that team and you think to yourself, yes, they can go because of this? Or I am still a little bit worried about this particular part of the New England Patriots. They say their schedule's bad, but that's not their fault, obviously. I mean, what the hell are they supposed to do?
You play last place schedule, you should win. But they're winning in the right way, and they're doing it the right way. And no, I don't have any doubts they can run the table. Because if all the playoffs have to go up there, that's different weather. And you better be a cold weather team to be able to play against them. And they had that advantage for all those years.
Oh my God, home field advantage to the playoffs. I just
Again, It's Tom Brady formula.
That's what you just thought of.
Yeah.
That is literally what you were just like, nah, yeah, everybody's got to fly their ass to Foxborough. We know they control the weather up there.
Totally.
We know they control the weather up there somehow. Yeah, all of it.
Communicate. Something's going to happen in Foxborough.
And who was the last coach to go up there and win?
Who was it?
Mike Vrabel.
Boom.
Tennessee Titans.
Ended the Brady era in New
That
England.
pick.
Logan Ryan.
Bingo, Logan Ryan, yeah.
That was against Vrabel, of course.
And that's
now he's not on the market. So who's going to do it? Nobody. Thank you very much. Nobody can. Maybe it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There's a chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's head over to Hammer Dahn AP Tone. Hey, this Pittsburgh Steelers conversation is getting really loud, brother. Honestly, it feels like more people publicly stating what maybe some people have believed for a while about, hey, maybe it's time for something new at the head coaching role, you know? And obviously, Coach Tomlin has been good to us. It's getting loud with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think you watched the Patriots last night. You don't think to yourself at all that the Steelers could beat them if they had to get in there, which almost amplifies it even more, right?
Well, they did already beat them once this season, so we'll just start right there. And would like to apologize to Darius Butler for the Steelers trying to win every year. That's on us. That's a mistake on our part. But no, it is getting really loud. It's getting super loud with the fan base, obviously, because we're super frustrated. Haven't won a playoff game in 9 years. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, and now Tomlin's getting a lot of questions about it from the media, so he is aware of the chance, everything like that, and he shares the same frustrations. But it just it is what it is. And a lot of the media, national media, we had Chef Dion and I saw Rap talking about it as well. They're never gonna outright fire Mike Tomlin. Like, Mike Tomlin is not going to be fired in week 12 or week 14, week 16, whatever. Like, he's been there too long. That's not what the Rooneys do. If anything, it'll be a mutual separation at the end of the season. I don't know if that is something that Tomlin wants to do. I don't know if that's something that Art Rooney wants to do. He has not shown any willingness to do something like that. So it'll be very, very interesting to see where they go. I just know that the fan base right now is at a fever pitch on – it can't be this anymore. Like, it has reached a point where the team is not you can't even recognize the team on the field versus what we have known our entire lives.
Okay, so on that note, you're talking about recognizing the team. We have a man here who coached in Pittsburgh, understands Pittsburgh very well. Coach B.A., what are your thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers situation? Tone obviously speaks from the fan perspective as well as somebody who has, knows some people who have potentially been around the building and in the building. He's speaking at a point where everybody's like, okay, enough. We've been doing this for a very long time. We're kind of just right in the middle. We're average. I think Coach Tomlin today was asked about the identity of his football team. He said, we're a 6-6 football team, and I don't like it. That's basically what Steelers fans have been saying for like the last 10 years. How do you see this going, and does it feel different this year versus maybe years past?
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder. I mean, I would not want to be either one of the coordinators because you're not coming back next year, for sure.
For sure.
That's going to happen. It's always happened. And so it's like, will Art pull the trigger, which I doubt very seriously. And if I were Mike, I would want to get out and go somewhere new, start over.
You got to do this a couple different times.
Yeah, and it not by my choice a couple of times, but
but let's just say you had a chance. Obviously, whenever you were at Indianapolis, we would have hopefully kept you forever. I think there were some business conversations that went the wrong way. Nobody with a brain would have done what happened there. But you end up being a head coach for Arizona. Then obviously you go to Tampa Bay. Whenever you get into a new building, is there a sense of refreshment? Maybe your voice is heard differently in different places. It's like, what do you think about Coach Tomlin potentially choosing to go elsewhere? Because everybody that talks on TV says if Coach Tomlin was to move move on from Pittsburgh, whatever it is, traded, fired, let go, steps away, he would get hired. Some 15 other teams would be like, give us Coach Tomlin. I think everybody in Pittsburgh agrees with that, right, Tone? Everybody in Pittsburgh kind of understands that and agrees with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think, but they just would like to see what potentially could look like post Mike Tomlin, where other teams are begging for a Coach Tomlin. But if he was going to another building, for you, what did you experience whenever you go to a new place?
Yeah, it's such an easier giving that message. You know, some players get tired of the message, and you have to keep it fresh. Mike's done a great job of keeping it fresh for years. And, you know, I don't know. I'm shocked watching their defense play. I'm just totally shocked because talent's not the issue. They got talent, and they went out and got all those guys in free agency. And it's just amazing to me to watch the Steelers play right now. It's almost like they don't have Steeler pride. And when you get booed on Renegade, bro, that's something wrong.
But that's a big
Something's wrong.
Have you heard the remix? The jig is up, the booze are out, they finally had it.
Yeah, bro.
Moving on from time.
That's shocked me. That's a shock to me.
Yeah, they hate him. They hate everything about it. And fire Tomlin chants happening. That was for Canada. They were doing that. They were doing that for Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh Penguins had a legendary coach who was around for a long time, Mike Sullivan. He was the coach of the Penguins for a long time. But kind of at the end of his run, there was like a 5-6 year period where basically he was just kind of like, but he did a lot of good things. He gets fired from the Pens or moves on from the Pens. I don't remember the exact opposite. He gets a job with the Rangers the next day. I believe he gets hired literally the next day. So this exact situation that is happening with Coach Tomlin happened literally to the Pittsburgh people already with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we now have moved on. And hey, don't look now. Penguins are playing good hockey right now.
Damn Muse.
Okay, yeah, Muse, bald-headed guy. It's certainly nothing like what Sully was like, had this hair. But I think the Pittsburgh people are like, hey, yeah, going to get a job the next day. Good, we are. Hey, you're a good coach. Way to go. But there's a door number 2 that we're trying to get to. You said there that you don't think Art will pull the trigger. Who's Rooney? The Rooney family wouldn't want to do that, right?
Yeah, it's just not their style. It's never been their style. And 3 head coaches in, 30, 40 years now. And it's, to me, something's got to change, though. There has to be some kind of change. And the coordinator thing has happened about 5 times now. So I don't think that's going to fly. That's not going to fly.
All right.
Well, there's just only so many places that are like this. Like Green Bay, New England, Pittsburgh. I guess you could throw San Fran in there. Like there are only a few spots where it is only, hey, unless you're going to Super Bowls. Yeah, Philly. But Philly's just ridiculous. Like they're going to be pissed no matter what. They're looking to be pissed. But there's only a few spots where if you're not going or competing for at least the conference championship, like your ass is on the line. And I mean, Green Bay is going through that right now. Like Matt LaFleur has had incredible success with Rodgers and Jordan Love, but they haven't made it and really competed in that conference championship in three years.
Since COVID.
But they're still great football team every single year.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, you're right.
Like you want that? Yeah, I of course, as a fan, like it's great being a part of that when you are like with New England right now. It's great to have Super Bowl expectations again. But now anything less than that, just it's not what you're looking for.
Tone brings up a good point from Hammer. Dahn. He said Baltimore right now too.
Yeah, boom.
Baltimore's expecting the same thing with Harbaugh, and it's like we all believe Harbaugh's a good coach. We all believe Tomlin is a good coach, but we all see with our eyes too. It's like fans would like to know that they're going to win a Super Bowl here. Clearly, at this stage, neither of those teams are the teams we're thinking about winning a Super Bowl. Pittsburgh Steelers too. If you go from front office wise, Omar Khan, the con artist. I mean, they go. I don't want to say they go. DK Metcalf's getting $30 million a year. He's never played a snap for the Steelers before this year. That's not how the Pittsburgh Steelers are. Jalen Ramsey, yep. Jonnu Smith, yep. Duggar, we're going there as well. Darius Slay, we're going there as well. Aaron Rodgers, going to be our quarterback. I mean, this is like vastly different than anything that they've ever done before. So that would indicate that it feels like the front office is trying to get over the hump and be great with the moves that they made. So now that the team is the exact same on the field, what does that indicate for the future? I don't think any of us know. But Pittsburgh Steelers fans say, it's going to be the same shit next year. We're going to have to do the same thing. And somehow, Tone, you're going to be selling to yourself in training camp that you guys are going to win a Super Bowl again.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
This year, you guys go on a run, win Super Bowl?
Nope. Not even close.
We're a 66 football team.
Yeah.
Ideally,
turns 42.
Ideally, they lose out.
It's Aaron's birthday?
Bingo.
Yeah, happy birthday,
Aaron.
Happy birthday, Aaron.
Once again, Aaron Rodgers been playing good? What? That's tough stuff over there, dude.
300 yards in 3 games?
That's not necessary.
That ain't Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Okay, so,
Who is it?
What are you saying?
Get out before you get hurt for life.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
It's his birthday today.
The takes he's hitting, man, the hits he's taking. Whew. Get out, bro.
That Bosa shot.
Oh.
He exploded through his back, face through turf. Boom, full body. Not even I don't even know if that's legal. I guess because the ball came out and he had the ball, it's okay. But that's Bosa's full body weight onto his spine, basically. And then also his face, because he wears that terrible chin strap from whatever year when football was back in the CTE days. That's a CTE day strap right
New
there.
helmet, though.
Yeah, new helmet, but kept the same strap. That thing, yeah, right. That thing's in there. And then bang, his face gets that thing butterflied. I'm going back out there. And then afterwards, his nose is just gigantic. Obviously, he's got 3 fractures in his left. And he's 42. Happy birthday, Aaron.
Happy birthday, brother.
You're a tough son of a bitch, Aaron. You're a tough OG football player. And the OG football fans in Pittsburgh are saying, we would like to get back to the OG days of whenever we were relevant in the Super Bowl conversations, as opposed to, hey, we have another winning season. Now, speaking of winning seasons, there's a lot of college football teams that have winning seasons. Only one of them can win the national championship. And that tournament to decide who will win the national championship starts with 12. Who will be those 12? Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight will be another college football playoff prediction bracket release show.
Well said.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. That's the name of it on the top.
College football playoff prediction bracket release show.
Yeah.
Featuring Eurocheck.
Which we're expecting him to maybe do a little better this week, but I like that he's kind of finding his groove. He's kind of finding his way. Him and Reese are kind of finding their mojo. But let's head over to Hammer Dahn. Tone, what is the CFP committee going to be saying about tonight, and what do you think the storylines are going to be, brother?
Yeah, once again, this is my prediction for what the college football committee will do tonight. Not what I think it should be personally, in my own opinion. And this by far was the hardest one so far that we have had to do to predict, because just there's a lot of movement and there's a lot of teams that are now very, very close and clustered together. But Ohio State at 1 is easy. Indiana at 2 is easy. Georgia at 3 is easy. The first question came at 4 and 5. Texas Tech was ahead of Oregon last week. Can the Oregon win against Washington? Jump Texas Tech? I don't know. Oregon jumped Texas Tech in both the AP and the coaches poll. So that is a question there at 4 and 5 for Oregon. I have A&M dropping to 6. They were 3, and with that loss to Texas, they're still a 1-loss team. So they're in the group of 1-loss teams with Ole Miss. I don't know what they're going to do with Ole Miss, to be honest with you. Like, this will be very indicative to how they feel about Lane losing or leaving, and will they use that clause that they have in the rules of, they can drop a team for a coach leaving, a quarterback being out, all of that stuff. So, like 7 at Ole Miss, I was just like, I don't know. Maybe they'll have Ole Miss at 7, but they could put them at 10, 11. That'd be very indicative of how they feel about Lane leaving and then that situation. Obviously, Oklahoma, not a great offense, really, really good defense. Wins at Alabama. Their record's good. They'll probably be at 8, somewhere around there. The big question, Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama, they all have 2 losses. Their strength of record, strength of schedule, losses, all of that situation. So 9, 10, 11 could be in really any order. The big question is 9 and 11, or the big question on the internet is 9 and 11 because of obviously the head-to-head. And then Miami's only in there because they are the highest-ranked ACC team. They're not in the ACC championship, so that's going to change with Virginia or Duke most likely. And then they had Tulane at 12 for a group of 5 team, so I just left Tulane in there.
Question.
Yeah.
ACC champion if Duke wins.
Yeah, that's a good question.
They're maybe getting left out because they won't be a part of the top 5 highest-ranked conference champions. They could still technically put Miami in as an at-large without having the champion of the conference in which they're in the actual tournament, which would be obviously absurd and kind of a mockery of the system that they have in place for themselves. Now, another conversation. These small schools getting a shot. Okay, these
shot shine.
More schools. That's right. Hell yeah. And it's kind of the basis of the whole song is more schools get a shot to shine.
Yeah, mixing things up.
Yeah.
It's about time.
It is, isn't it? But is it about time for
It's always
one of these schools that might lose by 70 in the first round to take up one of these spots from, some of these teams that we followed all year that might be on the outside looking in while, a Green Wave maybe sneaks in there or JMU gets in there, who I am a big fan of, or North Texas, maybe even they slide in there and then all of a sudden, what?
If they're going to penalize Ole Miss for losing their coach, Tulane, JMU, they're all out.
For what?
Yeah,
Their coaches are gone.
Yeah, but they're coaching
through it.
See? Big difference. Why can't Lane coach?
Well, because I think Ole Miss views
they're a little
themselves as a different program than Tulane or JMU or North Texas.
Respectfully, of course.
Respectfully, because they might be making a tournament in this entire
To your
thing.
point, though, Pat, like no one cared about it last year because Boise was undefeated, and I think they're ranked 10th in the country anyways. So like this season is a little different because Tulane, North Texas, and JMU, none of them are ranked super high. I liked what you guys were kind of talking about on game day, where it has to be, they have to be ranked in the top 15 or top 13 or 12 or whatever to fill that last conference championship spot.
There we go.
But there is a
looks like it's a bunch of power school elitists around here.
I'm sorry, I want the best teams in there.
Well, you start with 12, count down to 1. We're certainly going to find out who the best team is. They want a conference championship.
It's horseshit. Nobody wants this. They act like this is the NCAA basketball tournament, where like a 15 seed plays way differently than a 2 seed. Like they press a bunch, or like their defense is weird, and it's something you don't see all year. So like there's an upset potential there. Like that's not happening in football. Like these teams, like there's Tulane is like a 25-point underdog to Oregon right now, or Texas Tech, or whoever. They're going to get their ass beat.
27, actually.
27. There we go.
Okay.
Nobody wants to fucking see that, okay? It's
Whoa, Notre Dame might be taking up one of these spots as well. Or they might actually get left out because we might need Tulane, who took on the Meet Roadrunners at UTSA. Tough ball club last week.
I like watching Notre Dame play. Mm-hmm. You know why? Partially because we see them on national TV every single week. Does Tulane even play on TV? Have they?
CW, I think.
Yeah, CW. Yeah, CBS Sports Network.
You sound like an elitist.
I'm not.
You sound like a blue blood elitist.
I'm not.
You don't want the little schools to get an opportunity. You don't want them to get a chance.
I don't want them to. I do not want them to get a shot to shine. I want a good team to play Oregon. You know what? Actually,
I agree.
You know what,
Foxy?
Foxy?
Well, Foxy, you're an elitist.
I agree with Foxy.
Darius Butler, you've been saying a lot of
I went
over
to UConn. Look, I'm not a power school, but yeah, I'm the same way. If you're the top, now look, you finish one of these small schools, you finish in the top 10, top 12, you earn
That's
your
a
shot.
different story.
Boise State, we saw with Oklahoma all those years ago on the big stage. Yeah, for sure. But now we don't want to see this shit. We want to see the teams that really got a chance. And you know what? I do want to see the big brands. I do want to see the first round picks. I want to see the guys where I know their fucking names. Yep.
Wow.
SEC, ESPN, D-Bus.
There it is.
Let's actually, never mind. Let's send Tulane to Oregon. They can get beat 75-0, and then we'll say, what the fuck were we doing putting these guys in there?
Yeah, instead of kicking Miami out, they should put them against Notre Dame in the first fucking round.
Miami, Notre Dame?
Yeah.
There we go.
Do it again.
Love that.
Let's do it.
Rematch.
I did hear
again.
someone had an idea to put the first 4 teams out in games.
Championship weekend.
Or no. Or is it Army-Navy weekend, potentially, to then have them play for the last 2 spots?
I'm all in for that.
And have that be.
Exactly. The teams who need more shots to shine. And then they get their own showcase weekend, too.
Holy.
Tulane versus Texas.
Boom.
Oh, my gosh. Now we really find out.
Vandy versus JMU.
Now we're talking.
Hell yeah.
How many of these do you think Bobby is hitting every time?
He's creeping up those odds boards for Heisman.
Is he? What's he at right now?
Some books have him as co-favorite. I saw one had him as favorite. One had him as third, still behind Sayin and Mendoza. So it's getting very, very tight. But when you go for over 400 yards a game, your last 4 games, you're going to creep up there a bit.
We saw him on his tippy toes there. He's around a lot of tall guys.
Yep.
Yeah, he's around a lot of tall guys. Fernando Mendoza and this Indiana Hoosier team has an incredible opportunity this weekend. Big Ten championship game against Ohio State here in Indianapolis. It should be a Hoosier showcase day. Haven't won a conference championship since 1967.
Man.
Okay? 1967.
Sake's birth year.
Could be.
Sure.
I have no idea.
No clue.
He's locked down for the next 10 years. They got big donors behind them. Okay, Fernando Mendoza, he described his team, I guess the center. Where was the center? Was he a transfer as well?
From Notre Dame, I believe.
Okay, so the center was a transfer.
Pat Coogan.
Okay, so Coogan gives a speech to the boys, I guess, before one of their last games and says, like, hey, we're a bunch of misfits and outcasts that have kind of been replaced at our previous schools and we've come together here. It's like, Fernando Mendoza, good football player at Cal. And the way he talks about it is like they were going to move on from him if they were able to find it. Obviously, they have Songa Politelli, but he was a late addition. I don't know what they thought, but Mendoza utilized it as some sort of motivation to come to Indiana. Signetti in messaging and recruiting and talent evaluation has been very, very, very good here in the transfer portal era. So it feels like Indiana's around for the long haul, but nobody will really believe in them unless they're able to win against like Ohio State. If you're able to get a massive win over Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, all of a sudden everybody has to start being like, holy hell, the Hoosiers are who we've been saying they are. But if Ohio State just comes in here and wins this game, with the way they just handled business and the way they've gone all year, we're talking about maybe one of the most dominant years in the history of a college football team. Now, granted, is it all fool's gold? Some people talk about with different teams. Is it all potentially just a house built on cards as opposed to on granite because they haven't played against anybody? It's like a lot of these teams don't play against teams and they don't show up and the games get a lot closer than they're supposed to be. Ohio State has showed up and did their shit every single week at all positions. They operate like a machine, like a professional football team. I believe in Indiana to have the talent to be able to score against that defense. I think Indiana could beat Ohio State. I think Indiana is one of the top teams in the country. I believe in them.
Definitely.
But this Ohio State team is an actual machine. Like that is what it feels like, what they're running over there. So if Indiana was able to top them, that would be gigantic. And then Alabama, Georgia down there in the SEC championship. Alabama fans are scared that if they get another loss or a bad loss here to Georgia, Georgia might be top team in the country right now with how they've been playing as well. But if Alabama loses by 2-3 scores and they have 3 losses, they played in the SEC championship. It actually hurt them because they pick up another loss as opposed to missing the SEC championship and not having to publicly lose to Georgia in that way. That ignites a huge fire as well. Does it not, Tone?
It does. And I don't think the committee wants to set that precedent of punishing a team that especially makes the SEC championship and then loses it and gets knocked out. Last time I checked, they were minus 3,000 to make the playoffs. So even the books think that even if I think it would have to be a really, really bad loss for them to get knocked out of the playoffs.
Which we do not think it will be. I'm not saying that, but I mean, anything can happen in football. Any given game can happen.
But like if they lose Ty Simpson in that game, then it's definitely a situation where it's like, oh, Florida State, you can't put them in.
Or their coach, which a lot of people are talking about right now.
What is that about?
That's getting loud, isn't it?
Very loud.
I saw that as like a little bit of a rumbling, didn't take it seriously, and then it kind of just kept going. And I'm like, wait, it hasn't disappeared yet. What is that all about? People are saying maybe Coach, and we do not have this from anybody at school, anybody from the Boers camp, anybody at any other school.
Pure speculation.
This is all just from
internet.
Yeah, a little
and interviews.
What's that called? Whenever there's like a little bit of fire?
Bread trail.
Breadcrumbs?
No. I mean breadcrumbs for sure, but a little bit of
kindling.
Yeah, a little kindling. There seems to be a little bit of kindling, just a little bit of smoke coming around, and then it's continuing to linger though. Like this conversation has continued to cook as the decision at Penn State hasn't been made. But there's people that are alluding to on the internet that hey, Kalen DeBoer might be done with this whole Alabama SEC thing, and hey, every game has to be every game. Like we get it, but Penn State would be the same for him. But he allegedly would be a little bit more comfortable, maybe back in Big Ten up there, or maybe different style of football. People are saying maybe Kalen DeBoer goes to Penn State to become the head coach, even though Coach Sataki out there at BYU is now being linked to Penn State. Penn State still doesn't have a coach. Signing day, I think, is what? Tomorrow? Thursday?
Yeah.
It's like coming up or something, I believe.
Yep.
And then obviously transfer portal is right around the corner. The reason why the Ole Miss LSU Lane Kiffin situation happened is because LSU probably wanted Lane to be there for recruiting and for transfer portal. And Ole Miss didn't want Lane there for all those things because he's obviously competing directly against Ole Miss. So if they have players coming in or visiting and talking and Lane's like, yeah, we're going to win here, but guess what we're going to do next year at LSU? It's like nobody really thought that was going to be great. Penn State still doesn't have a coach.
What the hell is that about?
I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
This was like a top, 3 job? Florida, LSU, and Penn State.
It's crazy how quickly everywhere becomes a top job whenever they find out their coach might be leaving.
Yeah.
Hey, Signetti, they want you in Penn State. Mark Cuban and the boys want to know, though, if you just want $10 million a year for the next 10 years, $100 million, we'll give you $50 million tomorrow. All right, yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, let's go. Hoosiers. Let's keep it moving. Matt Rule, it'd be great at Penn State. You're having a good year in Nebraska. You want to sign an extension here for
50 years?
Literally until 2035 or something like that? Yeah, I'll do that. All of a sudden, these coaches that everybody thought they were going to have just kind of started disappearing. And then it's like, well, who are they going to hire? And then people start saying, well, is it a good job? It's like, yes, it's a good job, right? Right?
Is it?
Wait. I don't know anymore.
It is a good job, right? Why don't they have a coach?
I don't know. Since we're talking about speculation and breadcrumbs, it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake on the internet. That wasn't Penn State's AD, right?
No, that was not. That was a good troll, and we do appreciate the internet.
And then Abdul Carter, it's a lot of Penn State.
Yeah. I think there's some misinformation out there.
It's just trolling. Good trolling.
Yeah, a lot. Too good a troll.
You guys got to stop.
I got.
The internet is a got place. The internet is quickly becoming a very.
Is that Lane's dog or not?
Okay, that's a whole other conversation.
Saying he left him at Ole Miss
on the tarmac.
That's what they're saying.
What?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't on tarmac. We didn't see Juice out there.
Juice got tarmacked?
Yeah.
Marty didn't say that.
He's not in Baton Rouge.
No. Operator, won't you put me on through? Gonna take my love down the bedroom. Hurry up, won't you put me on the line? Gotta talk to my dog just one more time.
Stay!
That's what he said when he
I don't
answered.
love you anymore, Juice.
I don't know the whole situation there. We will certainly try to get to the bottom of that. That has become quite an interesting little tale, though, because I certainly thought they were. I think we all thought they were, and then maybe they're not. But Lane clarified some things on his feelings throughout this entire process. And he had a press conference, a lengthy one down there at LSU yesterday, where he answered some questions. He got introduced as the head coach, and he talked about, his decision-making process, how hard it was, and then what happened whenever he got to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, so, when it was asked before about the staff and the current roster, all that stuff, the number one focus after arriving here and walking in the facility last night, which really was awesome. Sorry to sidetrack, so make sure I don't forget your question. But man, landing here at that airport and then the leadership showing up and the whole board being there, what was, you could feel it right there, so as you've probably figured out, it was a really, really hard decision. And I was really torn, and I went back and forth, didn't sleep very much trying to figure it out. And the system didn't allow for a lot of time to do that, And it was really hard. And, I'm human. You don't even though you understand it's the passion, you're with your son and you're driving and, you got to call a cop that so they'll help you because you personally know them because you are leaving the state, and you got to call them because you drive with your son and you got to turn around and people are screaming at you, trying to run you off the road. I don't know what they're going to do, and so that affects you in that airport scene and all the things being said. I understand it. It's the passion, but they're saying that about you, that you thought you did a really good job for 6 years for them. That affects you. And even on the plane down there, I'm kind of like, man, we made this decision, but God, I really, and I'm telling you, I landed last night. I can't even remember when it was, okay? We landed, about 24 hours ago. And when I got off that plane, and I saw the board there, and I saw the leadership, and I felt the power of this place. And then we get in the car, and as we're driving out, and there's the fans, just all of them out there at the airport, and their excitement and their passion. And then the cars drive by as we're going to the office, and you go by Tiger Stadium, and it's lit up. And you're like, I absolutely made the right decision. And it all went away.
Lane won him over down there in the Bayou, and obviously the way LSU has handled this, I think, has been very impressive as well. They've had a lot of display of love for him in Baton Rouge because we've all obviously seen how bad it got up there in Oxford on the way out and all the different alleged demands and who knows what's real. We will certainly get to the bottom of it because Marty Smith, who told the tale of his chaotic 48 hours in Oxford, which involved this particular van going off-roading and up over some fields to get to Lane, to get the 5-minute interview right immediately as he was leaving, right before he saw all the fans lined up at the tarmac telling him he was the worst person on earth. And he chit-chatted about, not only being there and experiencing it and saying, I made the right decision. And I know the people at Ole Miss aren't going to like hearing that, but the people at LSU, everything Lane Kiffin said yesterday, you're like, yes, yes, yes. But also learning that one of the main factors for his decision-making process is literally how much money we give into the players. That is, he was so open about it all. Like, hey, I was the most highly sought-after coach in college football, right? This is maybe the loudest we've heard in a long time. Maybe ever. I mean,
Legit.
We haven't been in the college football world long enough to really be able to give judgment on how loud it got, but this was loud. This guy, because of how good he is. And he said in 2025, one of the things he just needs to know, I don't need to know how much money I'm getting paid. I understand I'm going to be getting paid a lot. How much money are we paying the players? He talked about that at length yesterday, and I thought it was a really good answer, actually.
There's a great plan here. There's a great plan of how we can come together with what we bring and what players around the country want to play for us and play in our systems, and then have that support to be able to do that so that they want to play for us and they get taken care of financially, which obviously nowadays is the world of college football, and it's very important and critical to them, which it should be. And this was the best setup. So that definitely played a factor into it. Because I don't care what your systems are, without good players, they don't work. So I actually asked today about my contract, not the numbers, I still don't know them. And I said, hey, just in case I get asked on it. And he said, basically, all four were extremely similar, contracts for me. But in the process of figuring out the NIL packages, those were not similar. Those were not the same. And that's a big part of it.
Okay, so he said, I don't know my numbers. A lot of people are mocking him for saying he didn't know his number. I assume he's on the internet. Okay, we all know that he is on the internet. He certainly saw the numbers. But what Jimmy Sexton told him is, everybody's going to pay you this, whatever we want. Mm-hmm. Everybody is offering the same. And then the next question is, well, how much are going to the players? And it's like, well, here's how much this place has for players. I talked to boosters. I talked to AD. I talked to president. Who knows who Jimmy Sexton? Here's how much this place has. I talked to blah, blah, blah. I talked to blah, blah, blah. So I think what happened was Lane was literally presented by his team. Jimmy Sexton certainly a part of it, leader of it, presented the situations. Hey, here's all the situations. And once you start kind of lining up and hearing him talk about why he went to LSU, and you hear all the other OG college football people talk about it, it's like one of the biggest anxieties that you have as a college football coach is recruiting. And then nowadays, transfer portal and retaining people. And whenever you talk to the OG college football people, it's like if you can get rid of a couple of your anxieties by the place that you go to, you certainly use that. You certainly take that. Like at LSU, there's allegedly, this is what they say, I guess we should start keeping track of this, is there's 10 5-stars that are just going to be a part of your roster every single year in your recruiting class. Before you even say a word to anybody, there's a kid who's a freshman in Louisiana. This kid, #1 recruit in the country.
All of them.
Just this kid right here, literally the first person he ran into down there is the #1 recruit in the entire country. And he has a post on his X, a tweet that says, I want to be known as the greatest Tiger of all time. Like they have a lot of pride in the LSU Tigers whenever you're from Louisiana. And it's their family, it's their community, it's everything that wants these people to be LSU Tigers because it's good for all parties. So you're naturally just going to get an abundance of 5-stars. So if you have a good coaching staff, just through your recruiting alone, let alone the transfer portal that Lane Kiffin thinks he's very good at, and he said multiple times, like, hey, in the transfer portal, people want to play in our systems. Like, we are explosive, we are high energy, we are successful, we've proven we've been successful. He said now with LSU and the money that we have and our systems and everything, this is just going to be an amazing thing. Me, as a guy that was hoping he would stay at Ole Miss and just grow like his place and like get a statue and transform an entire city and do something that's never been done before. When you listen to the people that are in that world, they're like, his life gets 50 times easier.
Oh, yeah.
If from the recruiting thing, just with that being the advantage. And he talked in that press conference a couple different times. I listened to the whole thing because I was so baffled by the decision, honestly. Because I think we all understood the amount of hate that was going to come with it and how it all went and how it's impossible for you to coach through the playoffs if you're going to another place, let alone a rivalry place. So that press conference I thought was pretty important to hear, like, well, how did you get to this decision, as opposed to just saying Coach Carroll would say this. And he's like, the LSU brand is worth so much. This is the one job he basically, in the country, he said, this is the best job in the country. Mm-hmm. And other people that are great coaches said this is the best job in the country to him. Feels like it was inevitable he was going to go down there, even though I held on to the Ole Miss dream, because I think that would be unique and be very special, especially with this time of life. But they're going to win down there, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I heard in that press conference.
Big.
Okay, what you think so, BA? That's
totally.
They're going to win big, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I would have them in the top 4 the next 3 years.
So that's, as I was listening to the press conference, that's all I kept thinking, as I was listening to the press conference. I'm like, if everything he is saying is true about all of it, like, hey, yeah, we got more money than, because we heard of where all the other places are, right? And I think he said 4. Right, we heard 4 jobs,
yep.
Yeah.
I think he said. So what are the 4 jobs? Okay, so that's places that we've heard with money that have been using it. And he said we have more money. We had better setup there. So LSU has more money than places that we thought had more money, okay, which is good news for LSU people. But also they have the talent that wants to go there. And Lane Kiffin, his shit works, right? And they got the defense coordinator still there who knows the area. And Coach O, I think he's still a part of it. Allegedly, Coach O is like a weapon in the state of Louisiana as a recruiter. Lane Kiffin said in his press conference, he called Coach O whenever he's on campus and told him that he feels like he should start talking like him just because he's there. So it feels like every answer he was given, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to be a wagon down there.
You were holding on to hope, man. I was surprised you did as long as you did, because we kind of felt like it was inevitable and it was going to happen and the decision had been made. And it does suck for the people at Ole Miss. You have a historic season. You can't finish it out with your coach. But for Lane, we always talk about coaches and now players, even on the collegiate level, doing what's best for their family. This was the best move for a coach because we treat it like the NFL a lot. So you're basically guaranteed a good draft every year, right? Because of where you are being LSU. So you're going to get a good draft. And then you're guaranteed with the money and NIL, what you're giving the players, a great free agency pool. So if you got a great free agency and a great draft every year, as a coach, it's really on you. Now it's about and he said this in the press conference too, you can have whatever systems you have, but if you don't have the players to do it, it doesn't matter. We saw even Saban, when he was running a bunch of national championships, on offense, they were still handing it off, running the ball 40, 50 times a game until he was damn near forced to innovate and do it differently. But they had the best players in the country every year, so yeah, we're just going to dominate you and play great defense. So now Lane Kiffin, you know the history there with the coaches that have already won one. He sees himself as a great coach. He said, hey, look at the numbers that are like since leaving Alabama. Look at my numbers. I have the best offensive numbers, and that's without having, I guess, the best talent year in and year out. So now this was a move he had to do. The money was going to be great. He mentioned it wherever he went for him. And I believe him, hey, just like being a top free agent, like, hey, this is what the market is. I'm going to get that. But now that's recruiting too. Hey, who's going to get the most money to my players? That's what I'm most concerned about. As a player, that makes me feel good to go play for a guy who cares about how much I'm getting in my pockets as well. So, yeah, it was kind of like a foregone conclusion. Obviously, Ole Miss fans, they're going to feel how they feel. Rightfully so. And LSU, hey.
Yeah. I thought it was a good press conference.
He nailed it.
Yeah.
He really did. I mean, a couple jokes in there. I don't know if he was choked up, trying to get choked up. I don't know what was
He's
happening.
trying to get there, yeah.
I think he was. I think maybe his brain was starting to think about like emotions. I don't think so. I don't think we're doing that right there, potentially in the middle of his conversation. But him addressing about how he was like, because there's stories coming out now like people knew he was doing this and then they were saying this on this day. It's like, I don't know Lane that well. I've only really met him within the last year. And obviously college football, he's like one of the biggest stories and he's friends with people that I know. So I've got a chance to chat with him a little bit. I genuinely thought he was conflicted. Like I thought he was conflicted on the decision on being like doing his own thing at Ole Miss or taking one of the greatest job in sport is what a lot of people are saying. So him coming out and saying that I thought was good, but Ole Miss, man, what a time. LSU's going into Ole Miss next year. Lane's walking in there. And I know Ole Miss is saying, yeah. But the more I learn about this LSU job,
Yeah.
the more I'm learning about this type of situation that's down there. It's like, God, this LSU team, I'm thinking they're going to be unbelievable next year. That's what let alone Winnedad, obviously, Lacey. I mean, the players that have already been very successful in his offense and in the SEC, still available. They're very young.
Look good in purple.
And he has money to be able to keep up with whoever makes the thing. It's like you got a couple key positions already ready to go, let alone if there's any other competition. He said we're going to look at all the talent. Who knows what's on that roster? We have no idea who's backup down there. Third string. Lane Kiffin might walk in there and go, who's this guy? Oh, he's 5-star out of whatever, Louisiana last year, defensive end or whatever. So, you're going to be great next year, man. Can't wait to watch you. 6'7", fucking 245 pounds somehow, just absolutely shredded. It's like Lane Kiffin is currently doing that with the current roster, knowing that they have the money to keep up. And then he's going to be completely prepared for the transfer portal through it all. And he already has his relation. They're going to win. I thought it was a bad idea because if you don't win down there, you're going to look like an idiot whenever you had Ole Miss. And you could have been special there. And if you don't win, like other people were able to win there, you can't win. You're a bad ball coach. And then he's talking yesterday. It's like, oh, he's fucking going to win. They're going to win. That's why he went there.
They need to keep their defensive coordinator because if they had an offense this year, they would have been easily in the playoffs because they had one of the best defenses in the country. And I know they are fighting hard to keep him, but I believe his name is also up for Tulane, so that's something to watch.
Okay, so I think he's from the area maybe?
He was, I don't know. He was at Mizzou, and then he left Mizzou to go to LSU, and this was his second year at LSU as the DC, and they improved greatly. So if he stays another, they're going to be very good on that side of the ball.
Old buddy who got the Kentucky job from Kentucky, right? Stein?
Yes, Will Stein, yeah.
So he's Oregon's offense coordinator. He is taking a head coaching job at Kentucky. Stoops gets fired from Kentucky. They're paying him $30-some million.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying him $30-some million.
Damn.
When was the last time you saw Kentucky play meaningful football?
When Bill Levis was there?
A few years ago.
2 years ago, when he had a chance to go get the A&M job, said, no, I'm staying at Kentucky. Fired.
He did them a favor, too, because that $30-some million was supposed to be due in 60 days, and they negotiated to be over however many years.
Oh, that's good. You know, I always thought if you win the Powerball and you're a little younger, it wouldn't be bad to just have this kind of taking care of me for the next 30 years of my life. You know, the people that take the buyout right now, like Brian Kelly getting all that money so quick. Mm-hmm. What if he has a full crash out? I mean, that might be too. Brian Kelly might be swimming in that.
Yeah.
BK, no way.
Yeah, free my boy BK.
Hey, he still can coach, right?
Yeah, I don't know who's going to hire him, but he could definitely still coach.
There's jobs open still. I mean, what is
Penn
going
State.
on
Penn
up at Penn State?
Penn State.
Okay, and last thing on college football before we move to the NFL with BS or no BS with our friend BA. Tone, you had a lot of action this morning on a little thought about preseason rankings in the AP preseason top 25 poll, basically just being a massive problem as opposed to a benefit to anybody. And we actually had Hembo look up, hey, when did this all come about? You know, the AP preseason poll. Turns out it was born in 1950. Okay, it was to create a unified national storyline before the season began. Hey, these are the teams we're talking about. Okay, this is how everybody remember. This is back in the day when you maybe never even heard a thing from a town 4 minutes from you ever in your entire life. You had no idea. You just pick up 1950, go down the road, nobody knew anything that happened literally 5 minutes ago. So that was a wild time. So let's go make sure we get a national storyline. To increase newspaper readership, obviously we need to move some papers. Mm-hmm. We need to talk about these things. And if we all talk about different things, guess what we're going to be doing? We're going to be taking attention away from the bigger things. Bigger things are what drive things. So these are the bigger things. To formalize preseason rankings, writers were already producing informally. Okay, we're already talking about this, so we might as well go ahead and make this public. To extend the AP poll brand that had grown popular, obviously, since 1936. We've been having a pretty good little brand run here. And that came from the Associated Press archives. So I think we're at a point now where college football is big enough. I think the AP is obviously synonymous with everything. This is AP Tone here. He gets the vote. So maybe we do away with the preseason poll. Maybe we just need, hey, this is where they finished last year rankings going in through the first couple weeks before we know who the hell it is. Is that what you're pitching?
Yeah, all those reasons that I agree with all those reasons in 1950, but you made a lot of good points on why that is outdated. And just like Pate put out that 12 of the AP are not ranked, and then I started looking at it. BYU is the lowest ranked one-loss team. And is that because they were the only unranked one-loss team at the beginning of the season? So it just takes them a lot longer to go up in the rankings versus, a one-loss team that was ranked in the top 10 at the beginning of the season. They're going to stay in the top 10 the entire season. Then Vandy, also unranked at the beginning of the season. They are the lowest ranked two-loss team, basically. So, is that because they were unranked at the beginning of the season and they were not supposed to be good? I'm not saying BYU or Vandy should be ahead of the other 1-loss or 2-loss teams. I'm just saying, is it a coincidence that both of these teams were unranked at the beginning of the season, and now they are basically the lowest ranked 1-loss and 2-loss teams because of perception at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, first impression, brother. You know, the first time hearing about this team is, they were ranked, they weren't even in top 25 before the season, so that means they weren't projected to be good. So you kind of carry that stink throughout the entirety. That's just like when somebody's drafted late in the NFL draft. They have to carry that stink for a while because how are you this bad at the beginning? Let's do away with it. I appreciate that. I'm on your side. That's AP tone. AP tone. Now let's pivot away from college football and let's do some NFL with our friend, Coach B.A. It's time for BS or no BS with B.A. We will read a statement that has potentially been said somewhere by somebody as a fact. And then our coach, B.A., a man who's been in the football world for 47 years, will tell us if it's BS or no BS. Let's go with the first one here. Joe Burr back. Jamar Chase balling. Defense flying around. If the Bengals beat the Bills, they'll win the AFC North. Is that BS or no BS, BA?
That's no BS.
Whoa!
When you look at their schedule, they're going to be favored the rest of the way. And this is the big game for them. If they can beat the Bills, they'll be one game back. Now, they still play the Ravens, who they beat badly in Baltimore. All right, the rest of the games, they got the easiest schedule going of those teams. Baltimore and Pittsburgh got to play each other twice. So I can see the Bengals running the table. If they beat the Bills, run the table, get in the playoffs.
Okay, and what does that mean in the playoffs? Do we think they can win a game in the playoffs?
With Joe B? Hell yeah.
Oh, Joey Burrow's back. Everything changes. I loved his answer before playing, saying, this kid's game. We get paid a lot of money to do it. I'm going to go play if I can. He certainly did. He didn't miss a step.
That show he put on in Baltimore was unbelievable.
He's sweet. His hair is super cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got super cool hair. So good at football. All right, let's go to the second one, BS or no BS. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Bruce, Texans making the Lot House, the Strat House this weekend was the biggest statement win in the NFL this week. Is that BS or no BS, BA?
Man, that's bullshit, brother, all the way. The Panthers beating the Rams. Shout out to Dave Canales. 3+3 turnover ratio. 3 for 3 on fourth down. Whoa. My boy Harold Goodwin and Joey Gilbert doing a hell of a job of that offensive line. The Panthers beating the Rams was by far the hugest win of the week.
Yeah, I think Panthers have the two largest upsets on the season thus far. 13.5 points. This one was 9.5 points. And what we thought of the Los Angeles Rams, I think we still think of the Los Angeles Rams because once again, Carolina Panthers.
Let's go football team.
We've been saying it.
Yeah.
It's a different team. Now, they can be ass. They have gotten dominated a couple different times this season. But for the majority of this season, they have been a good football team. The Carolina Panthers are legit, I think, down in the NFC South going forward.
Good football team, got a good quarterback, got a good defense. It's really about just being that every week. And I think Shrek said it earlier. It's been like this all season long in the NFL, but definitely in the NFC. Week to week, we crown these teams, and we were all on the Rams bandwagon, offensively, defensively, to just run the table and be the best team. But I agree with you, B.A. This was definitely the biggest statement win last week.
Yeah, thank God. Let's not talk about the Colts loss. C.J. Stroud is a good player. And the last one here, B.A., this ain't college. These young quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, 9, and Jackson Dart, need to change how they play before they are all out of the league, before their rookie contracts end. Is that BS or no BS?
That is no BS.
Okay.
Your best ability is availability.
Mm-hmm.
And people put all this money into a quarterback for the franchise, for the city, for the whole team, and it's your teammates. Learn how to fucking slide and get the hell out of bounds. All right? You ain't going to last. This ain't college. All these linebackers run 4.5, brother. And they don't have bad intentions if you stay in bounds, shit like this is going to happen. And you just came off three weeks of concussion? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Coach B.A., I don't like it either. I appreciate, though, the fact that he is trying to be tough. He's trying to say that he is tough. But I would just like to let Jackson Dart know, we all know you're tough. You bounce right up after getting depleted. Let's stop taking these shots. And before we get off ESPN, today is Giving Tuesday. Coach B.A. and his family here have a phenomenal foundation that obviously we'd love for you to consider if you are thinking about giving. The Arians Family Foundation exists to protect and support children who have experienced abuse or neglect. You can help a child today by donating to Provide a CASA, which is a
court-appointed special advocate,
which will basically go into rough situations for kids and basically do an inspection and find out if these kids need to be removed or taken to a better spot and look out for children that are in tough situations, right?
Yeah, and they become the positive light in their life.
I appreciate you doing that. Anytime we're making children's lives better, we respect it. On this Giving Tuesday, we hope you will help Coach Arians and his family and anybody else that is in need. It's not a bad day. If you can, go ahead and do that. That's one of the good parts of having success. It's the only reason to have success, actually. Now, on that note, we will continue digitally. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Okay. Wanted to make sure we got that in there.
Yeah,
that is a cool thing what you do.
Thank you.
That is a very cool thing what you do. Learning about that all this morning is obviously kind of an emotional experience, but also like a cool thing to know that there's people trying to help those particular situations that are happening in abundance. I guess like a lot of these situations take place that I don't think any of us really hear about.
When I went out to Arizona, there was 15,000 kids in foster care, and because the market crashed. Guys lost jobs. They lost their families. I mean, it's a tough situation, but these kids are in these situations through no fault of their own. They were born into it. They deserve a life.
Can you talk about some of the kids that have been helped through this process? I think
my wife started here in Indianapolis with Kids Voice of Indiana, which is a great organization. Eddie Rivers started the whole thing, and one a great guy. And she was an attorney for them. And then I asked her to take a 6-bar exam. She said, "Hell no." She's volunteered ever since. But her first case was a young boy here in Arizona who's probably 40 now with kids and gone to college, and they talk still today.
That's amazing.
It's really hard. These kids love their parents, no matter how bad they're treated, and to ask them to leave their home because it's the best thing for them. And then you try to help them get adopted, which is hard. And people call them group homes now. They're orphanages, bro. At Arizona, we asked all the guys, anybody got a shoe contract? Hey, you got money left? Yeah. How about we buy a bunch of shoes?
Hell yeah.
All right. We got 250 pair of Nikes, Adidas, everything. Took them down. One kid said, "I don't want them. They're just going to steal them from me." I said, "Come on, man. No, I don't want them. They'll beat me up and take them."
Gosh.
That's what they live in every day, man.
Yeah.
And we all have great lives, and it's our job. This is our next generation. All right, we got to help these kids.
Hell yeah. I appreciate the hell out of you and your family doing that. And hearing the stories obviously made us pumped to share your message and share who you and how you can help. And it's a beautiful thing. Giving Tuesday, I like that we're putting a spotlight on it. Coach actually texted me. I did not know Giving Tuesday was happening today. Okay, that's 100% on me. Need to be a better human out there. Coach texted me and said, "Hey, Giving Tuesday, want to promote anything?" Arians Family Foundation is the right one. So we appreciate what you do for the people. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we'll wrap up all storylines around sports. Got a lot to talk about. We got game balls to give away.
Yeah.
Got game balls to give away.
That's right.
And guess what? A lot of game balls this week.
Really?
A lot of them.
Okay.
That's a tip. Who do you think it's going to? Don't say it.
Nah, hopefully Mike Vrabel.
Oh, has a coach got a game ball? I don't know.
Whole staff. I mean, it would be a lot.
Maybe. Let's get to a break. Wow. That one's got you pretty fucked up. Have you given it to a coach yet?
Nope.
Do the rules say you could give it to a coach or no?
Oh, you could.
You could.
Am I right?
But we ain't.
Not this week.
Oh, shit.
Players play the game, baby.
When you would get into giving out game balls, okay, you're throwing them out there in the meeting, right? Is that your?
I never gave. It had to be very, very special for me to give one in the locker room.
After the game.
After the game. For me, it was Monday morning meeting, or Victory Monday on Wednesday morning. Firing them out there when my arm could still go up and throw.
You spin it a little bit?
I could spin a little bit, yeah.
I
went 3 games in college without completing a pass, but that's okay.
Hey, a lot of rushing touchdowns, though. The most in the history of Virginia Tech. So when you're giving those out, when you're deciding who gets the game balls, not these ones here, but in actual team situations, we have seen a couple game balls that probably were fugazi game balls. When you go into that, you know that the team is going to say, that's a bullshit game ball. Whenever you give a morale game ball.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know when you have.
You don't give those out. Not in front of the team. Not me.
Not me.
Not me. If they're going to say bullshit, no.
Can't have that.
You got to do something to earn a game ball. And one of the best ones is when a backup player steps in and plays better than the starter. Right? Because next man up is true, is real, and it's your opportunity. You get game ball, brother.
Yeah, and also it's motivation to everybody else in there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also a little heat to the starter, which you love.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, you do. All right, let's get to a break. We're back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice.
We're still bringing it. I light every bridge I see here just to watch it burn. If you've seen all the hell I've seen, it make your stomach turn. I think you know why I do what I do when I do.
Started with 133 teams vying for one of these coveted 12 spots for this 12-team playoff, and it came down to 2 teams in the great state of Indiana kicking this entire thing off.
I might drink a little, I might smoke a lot, counting down the good times, staring down the clock, throw some high.
The best year of college football that it's ever had is about to have the greatest playoff it's ever had, and it all starts right here in front of Touchdown Jesus and his beautiful Irish people. And I think if you say, "Go Irish!" Hoosiers! They'll do that all night. If you make this kick, I will double his kick to $500,000. I will also donate $250,000 to a charity of Chris Daly's choosing. Yeah, let it go.
Oh, God.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Proud of you. One kick, $750,000. The Lord is watching you. Man down. Man down.
That's all right.
$1 million. And there's a bunch of that have invaded.
We don't just beat top 25 teams, we beat the shit out of them.
Okay, Google here.
But one thing you didn't learn from me is talking all the shit you talk.
Welcome to the most electrifying atmosphere in all of sport. I know European soccer fans are wild. That's like 30 to 60,000. You're about to see all weekend 100,000 plus bananas atmosphere, and that is one part of the reason why college ball is so damn great. Why are the girls here?
Is this not a fun show? No serious show? Serious football. Alabama Jones is very serious.
You know, he was trying to be funny, which I get it. And, you know, my daughter Kristen loves him, so that's kind of soothed the soul a little bit that somebody in our family likes the guy.
I choose to believe. In front of Touchdown Jesus and everybody looking down. IU gets a massive win over Notre Dame. Shane, I'm sorry.
You're a real scumbag. I thought Coach Cignetti coming out here was a real disgrace to the game. He left his players in the locker room to go get some camera time for himself. I know a legend like yourself would never do something like that. Would you?
No.
No, it's disgusting. I saw it. I thought, wow, what a sad, disgusting program. Notre Dame by a million. Go Irish.
Riley Leonard and the Irish from their own 2. Jeremiah Love breaks free. Jeremiah Love trying to go 98. Touchdown!
Might be fiction for a blowout here, fellas.
Couldn't wait to get to the wonderful state of OH! OH! In the SEC, coming up to the Big Ten, when it's cold as hell, we shall settle the conversation here in beautiful Columbus. Coach, that hairline, you get a haircut every day?
Not every day. Not every day.
Big beard, big boot, Peters in tow, 500. Oh, this guy sucks. Holy hell. This guy's the worst we've ever seen. Just took out the Ohio State cheerleaders. $1 million here, JD Level. Yep, this guy sucks at kicking, but we appreciate the hell out of you, JD.
Hey, Jay Hall. There he is.
He has once wiped 100 times.
What? What?
Yeah, 100 times. There are actually people out there, psychos obviously, that like the non-frosted Pop-Tarts. Gary's brother, one of the best football players I've ever been around. Non-frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
Now, I, at one point this year, was the mayor of Conktown.
You were the mayor?
Mayor of Conktown, yeah. They voted me in there, and this is my
How do you become the mayor of Conktown?
You just got to go around and say, listen, I heart cock. I heart Cox. Sorry, numerous. Whenever we found out that there was going to be a college football playoff game in Columbus, Ohio, we were all jacked up to see this Ohio State faithful be showcased to the entire world about how much they love football. Then we walked out here to this game day set this morning, and it was like, Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home. Well, in that song they say it's home. Home for me is the North, and the cold is going to be Dahn. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes representing for the Big Ten. How cool was Sean Perkins, the Ohio State football team, for allowing us to hang out in their facility pretty much all day Saturday? They had 5 TVs set up, a bunch of recliners. Roosters supplied some phenomenal food.
Arctic temperatures. NJ Hawkins on two moments. Darius Butler from South Florida. He's fucking beautiful. You can check up on about first quarter, fourth quarter. It's all we want. It's all losing. It is, but it is not.
Handoff on the count. Travion Henderson in the open field. Travion Henderson is scoring another ton for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Story of the game thus far as Chip Kelly is going mad dummy, bruh. All of Ohio is excited. They were singing long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. First read, second read, third read, scramble, ball on the ground. Check down. Would hate to be a Tennessee fan or a chair near Morgan Wallen because they have no hope right now. Will Howard. Check. Jeremiah Smith. Touchdown.
By and large, these games have absolutely stunk, Pat.
Peter Herbstreit raising absolute hell.
A couple people up here with that smoky orange face paint on that are feeling like real assholes right now.
As we look to the exits, and the Volunteers fans are saying, get my ass back to the South. This one's over. Bounces it. Touchdown, Ohio State. Boys, that was wide ass open. He's got left-handed. 500 drones, ones that we know about. This game's over, but we're still bringing it.
Why? Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this BA Day, December 2nd, 2025, Hour 3 of the program begins now. Football! That's Coach BA. The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here. And live from Hammer, Dahn is AP Tone. And ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news. There is an international American football news story that needs to be heard by one man and one man alone. Ladies and gentlemen, Tycho McQuaid actually has a breaking international footballer story that the world needs to hear and maybe inspire the globe in our beautiful sport.
Absolutely. Thank you, lad. This is arguably the most inspiring story of all time, not just football, not just sports. This transcends sports as a whole. Again, maybe the most inspiring story of all time. Listen, lads, I know you probably were following on Pins and Needles, the Pro Football Ireland account over the weekend, obviously, as Saints kicker Charlie Smythe, the pride of the little village of Mayobridge in Northern Ireland, took the field for his first NFL start, lads. We were at the Leaky Cauldron in Mayobridge watching the game. I don't know if you saw this. Charlie Smythe That's a 56-yard field goal, lads. And you can't really tell from the TV copy here. It was raining sideways in Miami during this game. Terrible conditions. You could barely see the ball. Charlie Smythe, good from 56 yards, and you can see we're just going...
Lads with all the pints?
Yeah, the lads were just downing pints. There was not, a full pint in the pub that night. Also, funny little note here, that 56-yard field goal, lads, would have been good from probably 75 to 80 yards. You saw it.
Did you eyeball that? Or
that was straight eyeballing. Again, I'm not doing yards, lads, over here, obviously, in Mayo Bridge. Yeah, we're going by kilometers, so it looked like it would have been good from 115 to 125 kilometers. But something that people don't know, lads, this Charlie Smythe, okay, he was a former Gaelic football goalkeeper, okay? We're not talking about a striker who's, wow. We're talking about a Gaelic football goalkeeper, lads. Is he the best player in the NFL? I don't know. That's what we were kind of talking about in Mayo Bridge. Oh, yeah. Did I mention he fucking kicked an absolutely beautiful onside kick to give the Saints a little bit of hope. Obviously, their team fucking sucks. Their offense fucking sucks. So they couldn't capitalize on this. They couldn't go down and win the football game. I believe they had 3. But once again, back to the boys at the Leaky Cauldron. You can see we're just slamming pint glasses over each other's heads. Mayo Bridge has never been this happy. We'll probably never be this happy again until next Sunday when Charlie Smythe kicks, I don't know, an 85 to 90-yard field goal. I believe Kellen Moore did say post-game, we are going to give Charlie Smythe that opportunity, lads. So just kind of something to keep an eye on. I know we don't have a lot of international games, a lot of international flair for the rest of the season, with the exception of maybe a couple different guys. Wait a minute. You've got to be fucking kidding me, lads. Unfortunately, lads, I have some heartbreaking news.
No, it's a good ending.
No, it's not a good ending. 56-yard field goal for what? For nothing. Charlie Smythe has been reverted to the Saints practice squad per the NFL's transaction log. Yeah, okay, McQuaid. It's likely he will be elevated to the Saints active roster, and it's likely that I will be the fucking king of Mayo Bridge next week. It's not going to happen. That was his only shot. Check whatever fucking channel, BBC, that Charlie Smythe will probably be playing goalkeeper in Gaelic football.
He put a good film out there. Good onside kick and a 56-yarder. Other teams will sign him.
You know whose fault this is? And I hate to say this, lads. It's that goddamn Jude McAfee, our other Irish lad, our other Irish legend who was on the Giants earlier this year. I think he missed like 4 extra points in a game, and they promptly cut his ass. Didn't even want to use his spot for the international player program. You get that extra player on the practice squad. They said, fuck you, Jude. Go back to Yardland. He was actually with us, sucking down pints in Mayo Bridge. So I'm remiss to say I did not know that was the case right now. I had no idea. I just assumed they had signed him to like a 5-year, $100 million contract. He was going to be the next Saints legend. It's clearly...
Well, there's another Irish bomber out there as well in Green Bay, right?
Daniel Whalen's absolutely fucking unbelievable, lads, but I believe...
Is this an Ireland kind of takeover of ball-kicking positions?
You could argue that, and I know it's not the same thing. We need the Scottish hammer to stop stoving his thumbs on punts and haven't given up 94-yard, punt returns for a touchdown, kicking low line drives. He did what bobbling snaps, taking sacks. That's not what we need for the international player program. But yeah, Daniel Whalen, I also believe he was born in Ireland, lads, and then kind of moved over to the States. So is he really an Irish football player, lads? I mean, we'll claim him. Don't get me wrong. We'll absolutely claim him. But I believe he lived in like Boca Raton or something like that. So... How Irish are you if you lived in Boca Raton, lads? But just absolutely devastating news with Charlie Smythe being reverted to the Saints practice squad.
I think we all learned that at the same time.
I'm dumbfounded right now, lads.
We all got to the second paragraph before you, though.
Yeah.
That's why we were like, it's okay. And then you're like, no, it's not okay.
It's not okay. Blake Grupe's got an absolute bomb of a leg. Everyone knows it, lads. They just do not want to see Irish lads succeed, I guess.
McQuaid is also pushing for Jude McAfee to be the Giants kicker again after last night's debacle.
That's not going to happen, lads.
What do you mean?
This guy missed like 4 extra points in a single game, lads. You can't have a fucking guy like that on an NFL pitch.
It is interesting that the international growth of the game is going to come through the ball kicking positions. And it's like very obvious, like obviously there is some like Bjorn Werner.
Yeah.
And I'm pumped to see Bjorn have the success that he's having post for football over there in Germany. He's a stud. And if the Colts are going to be Germany's team with him, it's like perfect. But usually Australia started coming because they like literally grow up punting footballs. That's what they do for fun. That's how they play catch is they have a kick and they punt the ball back and forth. So once I think it was found out that, hey, you can come over to America and like kind of do this entire thing after your professional football careers because they come up through the academy and then they play professional Aussie rules football. They never sign up for a university, so their clock talking about, furthering their education never starts. So whenever they get through their Aussie rules football career, they were able to come over to America, 25, 26, have a family already, kind of adults, and then now you're going into college and doing the punting position. And it's like that led to like an eye-opening of like, wait a minute, this could be a great crossover between the two. Australia has provided a lot of great ball kickers for our league, and I think also our league has provided a lot of opportunity potentially for Australians that can punt balls. And then you go to Europe, it's the same thing. We're talking about Jamie last night. He's from Scotland. There's been guys from Italy that have been kicking. Now you got the Irish fellas that are punting and kicking. It's like all the ball kicking sports could be what is really the driver for the international and global dominance of American football. And I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing. But I'll tell you what, I don't think they fully understand that if you miss a kick, nobody gives a fuck about you. Like you are bottom of the totem pole.
What you done for me lately, baby?
Yes, yeah, and you're a bottom of the totem pole too. Like that is an understanding. Like you have to, hey, we fucking do not matter. In the grand scheme of this thing, definitely have to do our jobs for a win. But nobody is trying to hear shit or see shit if you miss.
Yeah, you get the golden boot the wrong way.
Yes, you will, quickly in this sport. So I love that it's happening, and shout out to the Irish lads.
Yeah, no kidding. Obviously, with the massive news that arguably took over college football over the weekend as well, that other Irish lad who decommitted from Penn State and decided to commit to North Carolina. So,
the punter.
The graphic didn't have what position he played, lad, so I had no fucking idea. I looked at him, I said, well, why is this such a big deal? Is this guy playing like defensive end or something like that? No, he's not. He's a punter, kicker. So obviously Bill Belichick.
Athlete.
Well, yeah, I know, but
he's Irish.
No, I understand, but when they were making it sound like it was like an earth-shattering thing, like I thought maybe this guy was playing quarterback, like an Irish guy playing quarterback. He's not. He's just one of another long line of kickers. Yeah, so but again, he's one of Ireland's most promising recruits, lads. Adam McCann Gibbs, obviously everyone knows his name. Switched his commitment from Penn State to UNC. I don't know if I would have necessarily done that, but obviously he's got his eyes set on the Aer Lingus College Football Classic next year.
Scroll down, see this stud. Adam McCann, Irish lad.
He looks like an Irish guy.
He's an Irish lad. He's a bomber too, but you thought maybe he's a quarterback. Maybe he is.
Yeah, I had no idea, lad.
But Ireland is kind of big for the game right now.
For sure.
Hosting a game, providing players. It's good stuff. I like where football's at right now. Speaking of liking where football's at right now, let's see the leaders across the league. Who's at the top right now of the league in all the different categories. Let's go to passing. Ladies and gentlemen, our top 5 QBs when it comes to yards. Drake May leading the way. Now, they have 11 wins. They have not had a bye week yet. They are entering their bye week, so maybe they have an extra game over all the other people. But nonetheless, Drake May balling. Dak Prescott, 3,200. Patrick Mahomes as well. Matthew Stafford spinning it. That was interesting against the Panthers. And then Danny Dimes has a hairline fracture in his fibula. And he has had an incredible year. And now he's going to have to depend on this throwing a lot more than ever before because he was able to run in the past. Now it looks like he's going to have to be a passing quarterback. What do you see that maybe the similarities of these top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now, BA?
They all play from the pocket. They're not runners. They're not getting themselves knocked out. They're the best quarterbacks in the league right now. And each and every one of them has very unique skill sets.
Okay, so let's talk about what's Drake May. Why is Drake May so good? Is it his accuracy? Feels like he has pinpoint accuracy on those deep balls. Like every ball that is supposed to be is it going to be on target is like right on target. That might be his basketball, to be honest.
I think I would say Steph Curry's three-point shot. His deep ball looks like a great three-point shooter. One of the best I was ever around was Tim Couch. Great deep ball. He was a great three-point shooter. And and he's so accurate. He's athletic. He's accurate. He's tall. You can see. And, that helps.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes up there.
Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes.
Josh Allen not up there, which is fascinating, but he's running all over the place.
Yeah, they're going to the running game.
Dak Prescott, the Cowboys might be best team in football right now.
Dak is playing lights out right now. He's obviously the leader, but he's spreading the ball around to everybody. They got enough running game going. Play action's big. And Dak does a great job of protecting himself and the ball.
They talked about George. We're going to try to keep George. We're going to try to keep old George Pickens around here.
I mean, he's playing himself into being the highest paid receiver in football. I know Chase made that gap where a little bit over $40 million, but I mean, Pickens, like, he is a dominant force out there, and then have CeeDee Lamb in there as well. But yeah, all really good play callers as well. The 2 to 5, those are all offensive head coaches and play callers, I believe. And then obviously you got Josh McDaniels and what he's doing. A great job with Drake May, but yeah, you said all play from the pocket, all play on time, and all pretty accurate with the football as well.
Yeah, very accurate, and not missing a lot of ops.
Oh, no.
You know, when you're getting these yards, you're not missing any opportunities to gain more yards. That's hell of a benefit. It's been awesome to watch old Danny Dimes. Okay, let's go to receivers. I feel like, Jackson Smith and Jigba is continuing an absolutely historic run. George Pickens traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, we just talked about him potentially playing his way into the highest paid of all time. Puka might be knocking on the door as well. Jamar Chase, outrageous. He had Joe Flacco spinning it to him there for a couple games. He missed a game because obviously he's a spitty talker. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown up there in Detroit still doing it. Big takeaway from this list, D-Butch, is what?
They're all obviously phenoms. They all kind of do it in different ways. Jackson Smith and Jigba is having the most impressive season, not only because of his production, but because that team, like, they throw the ball. Going into last week, they were second from the bottom, so 31st in the league when it comes to pass attempts, and he's already broken Seattle's record. And not only he had a low receiving game this last game, so not on pace to break the all-time record, but I mean, he could have a 20-yard game next game. And then George Pickens, obviously a phenomenal pickup, does most of his damage on the outside. It's kind of like a throwback true X, and a lot of conversation with him is like, hey, you got to take away the slant route. He's killing teams with the slant route, not only because of his big play ability down the field, but actually catching the ball and getting a bunch of yak. But the problem with that is if you take away that slant, you're susceptible to that deep ball, that go ball, which we all know him for. Puka Nacua, we know him, lines up everywhere. Where's Waldo breaking the huddle? Jamar Chase, probably the best combination. Like, if I was building a wide receiver in the lab, probably the best combination I've seen. He has like AB type movement skills with almost like a Julio Jones type explosiveness and body type, so kind of like meshed into one. He's unbelievable. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, we know what he does a lot of dirty work, and then he's a dog out there.
No Justin Jefferson in there.
No.
It's a shame.
No, that's because BA's throwing to him.
Well, BA.
Respectfully.
BA.
He wishes.
Can you still spin it a little bit? Or?
I was a runner, too.
Okay. You think Nine's a runner?
No.
Oh, jeez.
He's a quarterback. Come on, man.
They need to figure it out over there.
Prosper looked okay on Sunday.
Yeah.
He almost had that sick Mahomes against BA diving.
No, but you're saying Mahomes like.
It was a touchdown.
You're saying that was Mahomes like? Mm-hmm. No, that was Carson Wentz experience like.
Oh.
That's what that was. And we saw it. We all watched it. And that being a revenge game kind of for Darnold. Interesting. Didn't think about that going into the week. Kevin O'Connell dapping up Darnold after the game and talking to him a little bit. I miss you, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I miss you, man. This is Carson Wentz experience. That's what happened. We talk about Carson Wentz being the starting quarterback of a team that's playing in a new country first time. So they get excited about what's going on because he is so damn electrifying. We don't even think about the younger quarterback sitting behind him, watching his style of play, and then potentially just picking it up to be their own. I started adding things that Adam Vinatieri did to my routine. I think Carson Wentz is a clear influence here on Brosmer, and it did not go well. And
tough spot.
This Vikings team, man, they had it all.
They did.
They had more than it all.
Yeah, they're getting into that conversation of most disappointing team.
Oh,
they had two different All Pros at quarterback last year on two.
Oh.
But they had that dog.
He might be. They're missing some throws. Justin Jefferson, so good at football. I am incredibly impressed with how it's all going. Now, he knows once they pay him the amount of money. Now, granted, other teams have been able to pay a wide receiver a lot of money and pay a good quarterback to be able to throw them the ball. Mm-hmm. So that has happened in the past. And it's happening right now currently. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins got paid a lot of money, and Joe Burrow is throwing them the football. Now, granted, I don't know if anybody thinks that's how it should be. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott. I mean, A.J. Brown, I guess, there has been the situations where you've been able to do it. But the conversation was basically like, we're going to pay Justin Jefferson. That means we might not necessarily be able to pay Kirk Cousins. We might not not necessarily be able to pay Sam Darnold. We might not necessarily be able to make sure Daniel Jones doesn't even think about leaving there. We might think about being able to, like Aaron Rodgers wanted to go there. Not saying that we don't know how that any of this would have gone. But it's like they made this decision to go this way, and now they're sitting in a spot where Justin Jefferson isn't talking to the media for the first time in his entire career, and they're on the outside looking in. It's like that's not a fun place to be if you're Minnesota or the Vikings fans at all. But if you're the Packers, you love it, I guess, because you're a little bit scared of what was cooking in Minnesota there for a bit. Kevin O'Connell was coach of the year. We assumed they were going to be great for long haul.
No, not really. I mean, doing it 1 year is great, but when you do it 1 year and then you decide to just set dynamite to your entire building and blow everything up and just start anew for no fucking reason at all, that's what shitty franchises do. Like good franchises don't do that kind of stuff. So no, I'm not really, I wasn't shaking in my boots with the Vikings going into this year.
Yeah, and I saw a tweet yesterday about the cap hits they got coming next year.
They're big.
They're big, and they're not guys that are getting you more wins. They're definitely not guys that are helping out this year, and it's a lot of money. KOC's great. Maybe he needs to get traded to Pittsburgh. Maybe they need
That's not bad.
Maybe they need to trade him to Pittsburgh for Tomlin. Tomlin goes up there. Tomlin can win with 9. Somehow, some way, he'll win.
I legitimately do feel terrible for Vikings fans. After last year and how excited you had to have been going into this year, and then to see J.J. McCarthy play the way he has, and then now all this stuff with Justin Jefferson, you can see it. It's like, my God, we're going to watch this guy in a different uniform before too long if this stuff keeps happening.
You heard Randy Moss was basically saying, get out of there.
Yeah.
Basically. He was on Sunday Countdown, whatever Randy's on, and they said something about Justin Jefferson not being able to wait it out, and then he was like, nope, it's hard. Somehow said something that was very, I don't remember the exact words, but it was like, you need to go do what you need to do. You are Justin Jefferson is what this entirety. But I saw Justin Jefferson and Kevin O'Connell and this Minnesota Vikings in that stadium that is beautiful. I mean, they got a beautiful stadium, incredible fan base. What they were last year, obviously still good defense. Always will seemingly have a good defense over there. It's I thought the Vikings I think I picked them to win a Super Bowl last year at some point. I was I think the Vikings are going to win. So this is the brand new Vikings. This is a different team. And then to see all the decisions that got made in the offseason, and we talked about all of them. Hey, they're letting this happen. They just had the best year they've ever had. They're letting this happen. Just did this. This guy is potentially want to go there. This guy's a Hall of Famer. If you protect him a little bit, he could probably throw the ball. Allegedly, he wants to go there. Nope, want nothing to do that. We want this guy. We want this guy. We want this guy. How long do they have to sit on that, you think, with J.J. McCarthy? They have to give him another year, right? They haven't given him,
totally, yeah.
Have to give him a full offseason to get better.
He missed his whole rookie year being injured, not throwing the ball in college, and then trying to throw it against the NFL defenses is just a totally different ball game. I feel bad for the kid because he does have a lot of moxie, a lot of pride, and he is a winner. And it's just, man, it's hard to play quarterback in the NFL that way.
Yeah, and maybe he has a full offseason. Maybe they do an entire thing.
He hasn't been able to stay healthy this year either.
Yeah, it's very like AR, Anthony Richardson. He missed his rookie year because he was hurt. Then the next year, same thing happened. And JJ's missed half the year. He's
missed all that practice time again.
Yeah, and to your point about what Randy Moss said, Justin Jefferson's locked in, but do you think Jordan Addison hears that and he's like, yeah, I'm going to re-sign with the Vikings?
Jordan Addison's so good.
He's filthy.
I mean, they had it all. They
did.
Hot.
Aaron Jones back.
Jordan Mason also, who is very soft.
It's all right. Hey, man, so it was a fun year. It'll be okay. Give him an offseason. Give him an offseason.
He's a hard worker.
Let him go in there. He is a hard worker. He's got good leadership, so we assume that'll lead to future success. But I think they were all expecting now because they just had it. Yeah. So, I think that could have been a convo lead in. Let's go to the top 5 rushers in the NFL. Oh, would you look at that? Jonathan Taylor, number 1 in the league. 1,282 yards. Whenever he does good, the Colts do good. Whenever he doesn't do good, the Colts don't do good. So if you stop the run, feels like you can maybe stop the Colts. And if we don't have a quarterback that can run, that might affect how people game plan against Jonathan Taylor. But nonetheless, he's a game changer.
Yep.
He's a game wrecker. He is fun to watch. James Cook took over, obviously, that Pittsburgh Steelers game. And I guess there's different stats coming out on how many times they just ran the duo play against this Pittsburgh Steelers team with the crack, 2 wide receivers kind of cracking down. A large percentage of the time, and James Cook's vision and explosion has him around the edge, and Pittsburgh
26
Steelers.
times, Pat.
Okay, 26 times they ran the same play. You can do that when you have James Cook, who has vision and explosion. And you can run the same thing, and if you give him a crack, he's going to take it. Thinner build. We were talking about that the other day. Thinner build than most running backs, James Cook. More like a wide receiver type. He's explosive, but he's able to take hits. James Cook's a weapon. And then A-Chan. Look at you guys down there in Miami. Hey, Miami representing. Good for you, Gumps.
Absolute dog. Feed him the rock. Ran for 124 on Sunday. Went over 1,000 yards for the season.
Sonic of Sonic and Knuckles, Jahmyr Gibbs is over 1,000 yards already, and that's with splitting carries with Monty. Jahmyr Gibbs, not a good game the other day.
No, not a good game against the Packers both times, which is really the focal point of the entire offense. If he doesn't have a good game Thursday against the Cowboys, I don't know how we can win that game. So need to get him going here. Need to get him going.
Oh, no, because the Cowboys, Jerry Jones says we're going to be able to stop the fucking run.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're going to be able to do.
Get him out in space, baby. Get him out in space.
Wait, we're running bubble screens?
Anything, get him out in space. Can't catch him.
Okay, so is it as easy as that if you're a play caller?
Yes.
Hey, we got number 0 here. He is fucking tough to tackle. What do we need to do? Figure out how we get him in space. That's literally all you're thinking about?
And I'm blocking up the other side, and you go one-on-one with the linebacker, run all the option routes you can run. All right, until they double cover you, then you got wide out one-on-one. It's a simple game.
Okay, so with Jahmyr Gibbs, that's legitimately, it's as easy as that.
It is.
We got the guy. Let's figure out how we can get him on a favorable matchup and then let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, we took a kid who nobody ever heard of, was David Johnson in Arizona. He was like a legit wide receiver in college, then came running back. Nobody could cover him. So teach him all the routes, put him one-on-one with safeties, linebackers, just dump him the ball and block up the whole other side. Make sure there's nobody blitzing from the other side. And it's a simple game for a quarterback then.
High percentage game.
And then all of a sudden, there's 2 guys over here. 3 guys. We'll run the shit out of the ball over here now.
David Johnson, I remember that was electrifying.
You and I.
Then he got transferred to Houston, right? He was a part of a Houston.
The D-Hop trade.
Transfer.
Concussions got him.
Trade, yeah. He was electrifying. I do recall that. Jahmyr Gibbs is as well over 1,000 with splitting, let alone whenever he can catch. And then Bijan Robinson, or some people were saying at the beginning of the year, remember that? He could be the MVP of the entire season, the entire league, because of what he was doing in that offense. He is the focal point, almost at 1,000 yards already through week 13. And congrats to these guys running the ball.
He splits carries too.
Huh?
He splits with Algier. He's a weapon in the pass game too. Especially those last 3 guys, all weapons in the pass game.
Top 5 tacklers in the NFL. Jordan Brooks, and a baby
Hell
Gumpy,
yeah.
137.
Go.
He's far and ahead, the leader over Cedric Gray down there in Tennessee. Jack Campbell, love the way he plays ball.
Such a dog.
He's the best. Go ahead, Foxy. I've said all I need to say about Jack Campbell. I don't need to be a broken record.
I love everything that Jack Campbell does as a football player. As a fan, you want to have a guy that's like a Brian Urlacher in the middle of your offense, and that's Jack Campbell. He's at the ball no matter what. Every single play, whether it's a pass, whether it's a run, everything he does is awesome. He's tough. He's mean. He's the greatest leader a defense could ask for. I love this dude on the Lions.
Okay, well, when he was drafted, it was called a reach. What a bad pick. You
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that
Yeah,
time?
that whole draft, they said the Lions, what are you doing? You remember who they drafted in the first round? It was Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell.
Yep.
A couple good picks, I think. But fuck it, what do I know?
Bobby Wagner, I know him. He's been playing for 50 years.
Yeah.
115 tackles. Bobby, hey, keep going, Bob.
Yeah, Bobby.
We love that, Bobby. And then Devin White out there with the Raiders, 114. Congratulations to these guys having an incredible start to the season. And here's the picks leaders. We got Kevin Byard. Congratulations to him. J.C. Horn, Ernest Jones. Nashon, right? God damn, look at all the Bears on this thing.
Yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds. Holy shit. The Bears are everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, the Bears are everywhere. And why is that? Why are the Bears everywhere?
Well, we talk about a lot about the other side of the AFC, the Josh McDaniel hires for Drake May, former head coach, been around a long time. Kind of same thing in Chicago. Dennis Allen, been a head coach, been around a long time, defensive side of the ball. Also, Al Harris as well. Everywhere he goes, his defensive back, his secondary is productive. And you got Edmonds up there as a linebacker. But, yeah, these guys fly around the ball, and they're taking advantage and then setting their offense up. And their offense doesn't turn the ball over a lot. So we all know that's a great recipe for winning. Kevin Byard, shout out to him, too. A lot of people thought he was a little long in the tooth, maybe washed up a little bit. He's having an all-pro season out of Chicago.
Most caused turnovers in the NFL this season thus far. Chicago Bears got 26 of them. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 20 of them, even though it appears as if they stink on a relatively regular basis. 20 for the Los Angeles Rams, 19 for the Houston Texans. These defenses cause total havoc, says Shy Bears Muse. We respect the hell out of the stat and the tweet. And I appreciate that 3 Bears are on there, and Ben Johnson wouldn't have it any other way because it's right there. Look at it. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till good is better and better is best.
Bingo.
So we got good, better, best. Unbelievable what the Chicago Bears kind of cooking right now. And here's the sack leaders through week 13. Myles Garrett, holy shit, 19 of them. What's the record?
22.5.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations, Myles Garrett.
Yeah, it's going for 25. He's writing it down his little wrist tape there. That's his goal.
Congratulations to Myles Garrett. Brian Burns, he is a monster. Holy shit. Micah Parsons, wow, what a trade. I feel like that's pretty good little turnout of a trade for the Green Bay Packers, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. I love that guy so much, just so much. And, everyone said, hey, he's a locker room cancer. This guy sucks, all this kind of stuff. He doesn't. He's not. He loves being in Green Bay. They love having him, and he loves the fans. He loves playing, and it's crazy. He kind of always shows up in the biggest moments when you need him, which is nuts.
Closer.
He is a closer.
He is a closer.
They were talking about playing Enter Sandman in the fourth quarter for him. He said, I have no idea who Mariano Rivera is, but that sounds cool. Let's do it.
Ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that football? Who's Mariano Rivera?
Yeah, no idea. Jeff Hafley said, don't worry about it. We're going to cue it up for you.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
Oh, we'll find out.
He is
on
the closer.
Sunday. Yes.
And that's how you get the whole team is marketing that. Like, hey, Micah is the closer.
Yeah.
Like, this is what this is.
Right.
And he has shown up in every situation that he needs to.
Yeah, and he makes every other guy on the defensive line a lot better. This was like the big thing that the Packers were missing. Like, everyone talking, their pressure rate is so high, but they didn't get any sacks. They didn't ever get home to the quarterback. And this fucking guy does quite a bit and very quickly.
So good in the run game, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
I thought he wasn't. I thought he wasn't.
Yeah,
I thought that was the thing.
That's what people say. He's very good. Halfley moves him around, so you never really know where he's going to be. Halfley Jeff's going to look good in Pittsburgh next year.
Hey, Mike is special, huh?
Oh, my God, yeah. And in all phases of the game. Energy, motor, relentless. But I tell you what, he's not up there. But Danielle Hunter's got a guy on the other side of him. That's pretty legit, too.
You're talking about the Houston sack station.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Danielle Hunter, obviously, fourth whenever it comes to sacks on the season. And then when you talk about getting to the quarterback, if you have 2 guys that can get to it, obviously in a much better spot. Josh Sweat for the Arizona Cardinals. That team,
they stink.
Oh, man,
and they're so close. They've lost more games by 3 or less than anybody.
In the last, 15 years?
No, not that long. I haven't been going that long.
Okay. Sorry. But it does feel like it is the same every year with the Arizona Cardinals. It's like a lot of optimism, a lot of maybe, huh?
I was at the game with the Bucks, and they had every chance to win it, and didn't get it done.
How many does Will have, Will Anderson?
I think 10.5.
Yep, 10.5.
Oh, so he's almost, yeah. Okay, got it. Some stat kind of fucked him. He did have another jump on Powell. They didn't give it to him. Congrats to these guys getting a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, boys.
And congrats to Green Bay Packers, dude. Honestly, that was a big swing.
Yeah.
At the time. And it was like, a lot of people could have made fun of the Green Bay Packers for that play. Desperation, new stuff. Like people will probably say about the Pittsburgh Steelers with all the moves they made this past offseason and going into this trade deadline if this ends up being a colossal failure, which could potentially happen in it all. But it working out perfectly for maybe both sides is a beautiful thing. And Jerry Jones is just saying, yeah, that's what I do. Is that kind of how you feel about the trade with Micah and the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's easier to forget, like, he's just entering his prime. He's only 25 years old. I think that's why, this thing is so crazy. Like, it's not like, and not that TJ Watt is old or long in the tooth or anything like that, but he's 31. Like, Micah's got a lot of time to still, and he hopefully will be a Packer for the next 10 years.
You just mentioned the name. I'm shocked that's not up there.
TJ Watt.
Yeah. Let's go to Hammer. Dahn. Any omissions from the sack leader graphic that you saw, AP Tone?
I did notice that as well. A lot of good pass rushers out there. A lot of good pass rushers out there.
How do you feel about that Steelers defense? I saw 20 turnovers. You
Yeah.
guys are in the
Really
game.
good at getting turnovers. That's about it.
Jeez, that's AP Tone. Thank you, Tone.
It's not their fault. It's not the players' fault.
Whose fault is it?
I don't know. We're going to bring in Jeff Hafley, and he'll get the boys right.
What job's he taking?
Head coach.
It's not the players' fault.
What are you doing right now? It's kind of crazy.
D-Butt said it first. I heard it come out of his mouth.
Oh, I kind of just slipped that in there, but
what you
it's
saying?
always the players' fault. It's the NFL. They're getting paid more than any other defense in the league. Terrell Austin ain't fucking taking snaps.
Then why'd you say Jeff Hafley's going to be a coach next year?
That's just the nature of the business, brother. In this business.
And no, he's not. The Packers are going to give him like $25 million a year.
Oh, you think it's a McDaniels situation? Halfley's just going to love it so much.
I think so. That's why he left BC. Why would he want to do it again in the NFL?
Well, he didn't want to re-recruit and re-retain. And
You got to do that in the NFL too, just a little bit differently. It's not-
no, there's real contracts in the NFL.
Yeah, but still, like, what, you think he wants to go to a shitty team? And
It's true. BC had like the best NIL situation.
they did.
in all
They
of college
had a
football.
really good one, and he was just like, it's just too much. I'll just go be a coordinator, and that's kind of my lane. I'll
So
be
you
the
think
best
it's-
coordinator.
you
And
think
make more money.
What's that?
And make more money.
And life's a lot easier. And I
Lot
get
more
coach
fun.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that certainly doesn't hurt,
But what if an NFL team says, hey, we're not like Boston College at all. Actually, we're an
Yeah, we're the Raiders. He'll say, yeah, suck my dick. I don't want to fucking coach you guys. You suck. You're going to fire me in 3 years, and none of it's going to be my fault.
What about the Giants?
Same deal. Suck my dick. You guys suck. I don't want to coach for you.
What about the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Now, that's a rich tradition, strong history.
Thank you.
But, yeah, of course. But no, the Packers ain't fucking letting him leave. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Oh, no.
I appreciate you not saying that to the Steelers.
Well,
Well, it wasn't you ever, I guess.
No,
this
that's
was.
Hafley. That's Coach Hafley talking.
All right, let's get back to BA talking. Couple game balls coming out of week 13, and obviously, anytime you get a game ball, it is a big deal. You must have done something special. Coach BA has been picking one game ball for the AFC, one game ball for the NFC, which we will start with. Who gets the NFC game ball, BA? Wow.
The Bears offensive line, brother.
Wow, congratulations to Bears O-line. That's a lot of game balls. That's 5 of them.
281 yards rushing against the Philly defense on the road. Easiest way to win on the road. Run it down their throat.
2 different running backs over 100 yards, Coach.
Big time, brother. This was a big time. Great job by Ben Johnson just sticking with it too, boy. But DeAndre Swift, he looked like the old DeAndre Swift to me.
Do you think that Ben Johnson has helped the run game because of the scheming, because of the mindset? What do you think, and why do you think?
It's the mindset and the scheme. He knows how to be basic, fundamental, hat on a hat, give it back the ball 4 yards deep and let him go.
The thought of immediately upon arrival, Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears invested in the offensive line. Literally, that's like the first 3 plays that they made were like offensive line, offensive line, offensive line. That's huge for Ben Johnson, and it was on display against the Eagles, obviously.
Yeah, we always talk about it. Lane just said it. You have a great system, but having the players matter. Detroit, it had a really good offensive line. Chicago has a really good offensive line. And his scheme,
Jeez, they just caved that.
His scheme definitely helps. And the mobility of Caleb Williams, even when he does it, carry the ball, but when he's carrying out those fakes, that always impacts the edge rush. Like that last run when you had Jalen Phillips running up the field to kind of protect that boot, that creates a huge running lane. He always has receivers and tight ends and shit. And it just, as a defense, like if you hesitate for just 1 second, because we all have keys, linebackers, safeties, especially on that second and third level. So when our key takes us somewhere and we can't fire and be in that gap, that's all it takes. And these runners in the league, they're too damn good to have them one-on-one with these second and third level defenders. And all these runs, you see them getting tackled by, safeties 20, 25 yards down the field. That's tough sledding.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears really flipped the culture quickly. You do it in the trenches. Congrats to the Chicago Bears offensive line getting a game ball from BA. And who's the AFC game ball going to?
The Bills offensive line.
Oh, wow. 2 O-lines getting game balls. That's 10 game
Two starting
balls.
tackles out, 0 sacks, 249 yards rushing, 138 before contact.
That's the stat right there. James Cook not touched. Those cutbacks were obviously spectacular. They ran this play how many times, Tone?
26.
26 times, brother.
What does that mean? The offensive line just got the job done.
Well, I always say you find a mud puddle, you stomp all the water out of that son of a bitch before you go look for another one.
Okay.
All right? And they stomped the water out of that fucking mud hole, bro.
Yes, they did. If you can't stop it, why would we stop running it? Is basically what happened. And the offensive line, whenever you're putting that onus onto their shoulders, they love that type of shit, especially when they're having this type of night.
Yeah, I go one time back. I was at Alabama for 1 year, and I told the guys, we're actually going to play Ole Miss. I said, we're going 35 bob until we score. And we ran it 11 times to score.
Okay, so 35 bob. We got one play, and this is all we need against the boys. And they did that against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, 22 double. They just wore them out.
Connor McGovern also, he was one of their few returning linemen this week. It looked like he snapped his arm in half. They just wrapped it up, his elbow, and came back. And then at the end of the game, after Josh Allen's cackle touchdown, while they were jogging off after the extra point, he went over specifically to those two tackles, and he just said, "I'm so fucking proud of you, man," to both of them. You could see what he was saying through lip reading. It was very, very cool to see.
They just went in there and beat up the Steelers. Right?
They did something nobody's done since O.J. Simpson.
Okay, well,
and the run for 250 yards.
Okay, okay.
The run.
I didn't know what we were.
The run differential in this game.
Yeah.
Since 1950 hasn't happened to the Steelers.
Especially at home. This is the third home game where they've lost by at least 2 scores. Okay, so that's 3 games, 1 season, 3 home games in 1 season for these Yinzers to go and watch their team just get beat up and lose by multiple scores, let alone 3 scores. And then the entire time, Pittsburgh people know that they're running the same play right there. Like, people are watching this game going, hey, we can't tackle these guys are just bullying us, which is the worst thing that could happen in the city of Pittsburgh.
Ain't the fucking coach either. You ain't drawing up no magic plays. We got a gap. We got 8 guys in the box. Somebody got to whoop some ass and beat the assignment. And then when you're doing this, when you're bouncing, come on, that's day one shit as a corner. If you get cracked, you got to replace, you got to show up. You're going to keep fucking doing it. So 24, outside leverage, take a shot. Like, we could, that's the easy way out to say it's the coach, but these players, and these are all players with great resumes. These ain't a bunch of young guys who trying to figure out how to play in the NFL. So, I mean, to get bullied like that on your own field, this is surprise. Like
42.
This don't even look like
Tone, what's going on, Tone?
I just sent in a picture of their alignment against this play, and I didn't play past college, but like I feel like their alignment wasn't great against this play a lot. See that? That's pretty good, right?
Is that real? Got enough guys over there.
Everybody stacked on top of each other.
Hayes was kicking ass. So that tight end, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, he had a good day against 90, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got 8 men in the box there, I guess, technically. Okay, they're all obviously a little bit offset there. And then they still just ran the same shit.
2-4 definitely got to be wider.
It's an exotic look, certainly.
And we're off.
He showed he scored at the line of scrimmage. Like, it's week 13. This is training camp, day 1 shit.
Buffalo Bills offensive line, game ball.
Yeah, baby.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. We appreciate you all so much for allowing us to do this for a living. Ton, why don't you come on out here, bub? And good luck to everybody driving or who did drive this morning in any weather that was like what we had here in Indianapolis. A lot of snow came, and it was cold as shit. So there was ice, and there was a lot of snow. And shout out to all the people plowing out there, all the people.
Hell yeah.
What's that?
You sure? Because it's crazy. In the Indianapolis area, they actually wait to send the plows out until after everybody's already had to drive to work. It's unbelievable.
It's insane.
It's so dumb.
Never experienced it anywhere else.
Nope.
Well, I'll tell you what, PennDOT didn't necessarily get their fucking shit out before the storms either, you know? So there was always a little bit of reaction happening as opposed to a little pro-action. Mm-hmm. The issue is they got to determine how much salt they want to buy ahead of time. So they have to project how much salt they need to purchase for the entire winter and how important and how big they think each winter storm will be on how much they allocate the salt to the town. I have publicly gone after some people before into microphones, so I've been, kind of learned up a little bit on the entire decision-making process. It's like, well, we have this much for the entire, okay? So we need to know how much. Fuck it, I don't want ice.
I don't want to hear that.
I just put it out, okay? Joe Nardo would have told us the weather's coming, so let's go ahead and take care of that.
They didn't listen to Joe?
Well, the problem.
That's interesting, dude.
Yeah, I thought they would have been the best in the fucking country.
They
the most prepared.
They didn't listen to DiNardo.
But you got hard heads, you know? Hard heads do these types of things. DiNardo was trying his best.
So nobody respected DiNardo?
No, I think...
Was he a little long in the
What the hell?
He was never long in the tooth. Okay.
Long in the dop, it sounds like.
No, yeah, he was deep in the dop, is what you mean.
Oh, too deep.
And you got to remember, these decisions are being made by like one or two people.
Yep.
Okay, they don't necessarily do it all. And I think, whenever they're making decisions around here in Indianapolis, I think our biggest issue is how cold it is. So, like, obviously the snow sucks, but it's the coldness that just kind of freezes all the shit. So the wind chill, that you don't think really would affect the water in their precipitation in Indy, because the wind chill's so cold, it feels like it automatically freezes. It's
Flash
like
freeze.
Everything just kind of gets frozen. So the timing of the salt is a big deal. Need that before the ice.
That'd be ideal.
Because that's what, after the ice, we just kind of make it a little bit more rocky.
Although I do appreciate you wait till there's about 1,000 cars in the ditch on the highway and everywhere else, and then say, fuck, we better go out and do something about this.
We had two guys really do their thing out here in this parking lot today.
Hell of a tag.
They loved it.
They fucking crushed it. And this is a part of, I guess, business, and as you're growing, we asked them because we heard that this storm was coming, and we didn't have anybody set up to do the plowing of the parking lot. So we called a couple companies, shout to Zeke. They come over, project the price, They tell us a price. We go, all right, that seems very, very low, but also reasonable. Sweet, let's go ahead and do this. It was two guys. They were not prepared for this parking lot.
No.
And we're going to pay them triple what they said they needed.
Like they thought they were doing a big driveway.
Yeah, these guys worked their ass off this morning, and we watched it for hours.
Yeah.
These guys, 2 shoves, basically, 2 shovels, this entire thing. Yeah, right.
Add a 0 to it next time.
They need to start doing a little bit more, and then build up and invest in plow. You need a plow, I think.
Right.
That'll help out.
Fault they gave us the wrong price. You pay them the price they told us.
That's a ton dig saying, hey, we don't need more money leaving this company. They charged us what they charged us. And it's like, I guess so, brother. But the work they put in was admirable, as is everybody that battles through this inclement weather to make special things happen. Shout out to football. Shout out to you, Coach B.A. Anything to say before we get out of here?
Great show. Better win next week.
Hell yeah. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Arians Family Foundation, also taking care of kids all over the world, country. I don't know about world, but definitely over the country. We appreciate you on this Giving Tuesday for giving us everything that you give us, Coach B.A. We love your energy. We love your spirit. We also love the fact that we get to do this for a living. We'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.